Phoenix Down Radio is on the air. With your hosts,
Klauss Nightbringer,
Seyrr
Chille,
and Luna Vox.
Welcome everybody to Phoenix Down Radio episode number 83. How's everyone doing tonight?
elegant rot.
I thought you got over that.
I still have a little bit of it. You know, the time is still going down.
Pass it on quickly. You don't want that to expire.
Yeah, you might explode.
Uh,
Did Sarah get a case of the Allegan rot as well?
Nope. Seyrr is mostly good, except from having been traveling for the last week and a half or so combined, and everything's kind of a mess now. I just got back late last night. And then today there was library stuffs.
We traveling
I had 20
for what?
Go on.
Sarah, traveling for what?
Oh, partly for FanFest, partly for Thanksgiving stuffs.
Oh, okay. So you kind of had, the way you had it set up, you did a little mix of everything at the same, all at once, huh?
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
It was 21 hours of travel back for me.
Yeah, you had quite the flights, and you had some delays and some missed transfers, and
Yeah.
why don't you tell us all about that, Chille?
Well, on the way there, I had a train from 10:30. Then I had one at 1:30 to go to 3:00 to get to the airport. Luckily, the flight wasn't until like 10 a.m., but that was the best time I could get a train. But the train got delayed at 1:30 till 3:00 in the morning, so that was an hour and a half wait. And then the flight between Manchester to Philadelphia got delayed. Then the flight between Philadelphia and Los Angeles got delayed. Then the flight between Los Angeles and LA got delayed.
You mean in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, you flew between Los Angeles and LA? That's
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes you come into LA because it's the major hub.
Yeah.
You flew
And then
from
on
one
the
end
way
of
back-
LAX to the other end of LAX.
So I went from Los Angeles to Vegas. And then on the way back, everything got delayed as well. I was like, yay. In fact, I missed my connection from Heathrow to Manchester because it got delayed. Luckily, it was because of the plane's fault, so they put me on the next flight for free. So
Nice.
but yeah, that was fun. That was so much fun. I think I worked out about, if you included all the wait time, on the way there was about 26 hours.
That's about
Due
how
to
long
all
it
the
took us to drive in 2016.
Yeah. Due to all the waiting. The actual flight wasn't that long, but because of all the sitting around waiting for stuff, which in my opinion is just as stressful.
But yeah, Scarlett's got a good point. Think of all those frequent flyer miles.
I don't have that. I don't know what those are. I'm confused.
Yeah, frequent flyer miles is something you have to accrue with if you fly with like one airline. So
Yay.
for Sarah.
Anyway.
Are you signing
That
in,
was fun.
Sarah?
I am signing in, and then I saw someone was doing stuff with the submersibles, and I went to check on that. Teleporting over now.
Oh, okay, because people are missing you. Graham's
Aw.
saying that
Miss
Sarah
you.
looks so different. I think
I got to see him in real life again. I miss him again.
Aww.
so. A little bit of show news. While these guys were out in Vegas, I decided to refresh our logos a little bit. So if you've been checking out social media, you'll notice that we have new Phoenix Down Radio logos. Hope you guys are enjoying those. And we did decide to put those up on Redbubble. If you want to get a copy of those, there's currently a sale on Redbubble right now for Black Fridays and Cyber Monday, all that good stuff. So if you can check out redbubble.com, search for Phoenix Down Radio, and get some sweet swag, 20% off. Figure I got to throw that out there for people who might be interested. Sarah, can you go sit on the other side so we kind of balance it out?
So picky.
Perfect. Little more balance.
I'm going. Oh, no.
There we go. That looks better.
And then look better.
I know I do. I think I look pretty damn good.
Yeah. Why don't you get over here? Give me some of that sugar.
That's all right. But Chille was getting a little bit of sugar last night, weren't you?
A little bit, yeah. My character got married last night to a wonderful Lala named Momo on Hyperion.
Yay!
It was
Yeah.
actually a really good ceremony. A lot of fun. You should check out our Twitter page if you want to see some of the pictures that Luna took. She did an amazing job.
Hey, and some that Klauss took, because he did a good job too.
Not as good as Luna. She is very good at those things. We miss Luna.
We miss Luna.
I tried to convince her to join us tonight, but she's doing some family things, so we're going to try and get her to jump on
Family
at some point
things?
soon.
Like,
Family
that's
things
the
around-
reason for the season.
Family things around Thanksgiving?
I know,
my
right?
God. What are those? That's what is. I don't even know what holiday is because we don't celebrate it, but still. What even are those?
So how were you? So Sarah, you had a pretty good Thanksgiving. You were traveling a lot, you said,
Fair bit, yeah.
and it was a good time.
Yeah. People actually, for the most part, got along pretty well. Went down to Santa Cruz. My aunt rented out a couple Airbnbs.
Ooh,
Had a really nice time. Also, we actually started getting some rain, so the air quality index was not terrible. California is less on fire now.
yay!
The air here isn't going to kill me.
You're
as
not
quickly.
totally lit.
Someday we may find those types of jokes funny again. This is not that day.
At that point, we'll blaze it.
And then, Chille, how was
Still
your?
not that day.
So Chille, how was your Thursday?
I celebrated Thanksgiving, thank you very much, while I was in Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
We
They
did-
had a Friendsgiving at the Airbnb you stayed at, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. It was fun. We had 2 turkeys, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, some other things that I've forgotten now,
Wouldn't that be considered like cannibalism for you?
and cake. Lots of cake.
I love how he just ignores that.
Yeah.
Can't say that I
That is-
blame him, but no,
Yeah,
it looked like you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was nice. The cake was lovely. Avi made it.
Oh, nice.
And Shinta made the pies.
So who all
He made
stayed at
3
the
pumpkin
B&B?
pies. We had Anonymous. We had guy, I can't say his name right. Fang? Phang. We had
That
the
sounds-
Crucible.
Yeah.
We had Emmy. I was also there. Flatus, Shinta. Yeah. And by the Crucible, it was both Bahama and Safe.
Wow, that was a pretty full place.
Yeah.
And
Bahama,
Sarah-
I was sleeping in the closet.
I hope you weren't actually sleeping in the closet.
I was sleeping in the closet
Why were you
That's
sleeping in the
problematic.
closet?
because that was my bedroom.
Did they give you a shoebox to sleep in too?
Ooh,
No.
Look at Mr. Fancy with his shoe boxes.
And then
Get outta
Bahama
here.
decided to steal my closet. So
Oh dear.
he
That's-
stole my He stole Harry's closet.
And Sarah, you stayed at the Rio?
No, we actually stayed across the street at the Gold Coast. The Rio
Okay.
sold out of rooms very quickly because a lot of people had bought them ahead of time.
Mhm.
And then when many of those people canceled those reservations, they were not released back into the special 14 rate pool.
Well, that's kind of shitty.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we stayed across the street at the Gold Coast, which was perfectly fine, significantly cheaper, and their hot tub stayed open later.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And if you didn't have to go that far, didn't it make for that big of a deal? Especially if you didn't have to bring a cosplay over.
Exactly.
By the way, Emmy's cosplay as Nanima was adorable.
Yes, it was.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that when we get into some of the coverage of the FanFest. For now, let's go ahead and jump into some gaming community news. And why don't we go ahead and start out with the Gotcha Roundup.
Yay.
Woo.
So if
All
you
right.
don't mind, Sarah, I want to start
Go
talking
for it.
about Dissidia. Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia has had a lot of updates recently. They just recently opened Chapter 11 which brings us 3 new characters, Jekt from 10, Lilith from 11, and Yuri from Crystal Chronicles. They also released new EX weapons for Cloud and Shantoto. And I don't know if you've been playing much, Seyrr, but holy shit, is Meteor Rain for Cloud OP.
Yeah, I may have kind of pulled it, but I didn't want to mention.
You make me sad now.
I may have immediately spent the Power Stones to burst it up the full way.
Yet you still haven't upgraded your character to that?
No, Cloud's at 57.6. Oh, I haven't changed my friend unit. That's because I was thinking of upgrading Vaughn. Well, I'll figure it out.
It's cool. They also made a change to the daily cycle quests. Instead of being able to only run them 10 times a day, you can run them as often as you want. So, like I said, depending on what particular crystal is open that day, you can run for that crystal for 24 hours. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're trying to build up and get enough crystals to level up everybody to 50 or higher. So,
yeah, given that they just they pretty much had a bunch of meta changing things with recently having characters awakenable to crystal level 60 and character level 60 for that.
Yep.
Then the Lost Chapter stuff.
And the fact that there's 75 characters, you just need to get you just need a lot of crystals.
Yep.
So yeah, it's made the game a lot of fun though.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm having fun with it.
Exactly. I think it's right now it's my favorite Final Fantasy mobile game. All right, if you want to talk about the rest then.
Sure. So let's see. Final Fantasy Record Keeper has a Final Fantasy 14 event on, which includes the new Neo Torment against Ultima Weapon, as well as Alpha Node's magic-based wind chain Soulbreak. They also do have the Arcadia Islands special event continuing. This is a renamed, reskinned version of what Japan got at Golden, or not Arcadia, Cardia. Completely botched. But this is a reskinned version of what Japan got for Golden Week, because Golden Week isn't really a thing in the US. But so that's got lots of fun specials, bonuses, other good things like that. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I'm honestly not super up on it, but I know they have brought back the Nier Automata event.
Yep, you get some special things when you sign in every day for that.
Yep. They're having lots of the usual daily bonuses, all that fun stuff. And then for Mobius, they just in the last week or so, week and a half, released the start of the second story arc, Warrior of Despair. And to help people catch up or refresh their memories on the plot, they also started new story digest areas where you can replay through those earlier chapters, watch those story cutscenes again, but with much fewer fights.
Yep.
As a way to, as I said, either refresh your memory or to catch up for new players so you can jump into the new content.
Well, you still have to run through the other portions of it first, don't you?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually check the notes on that.
Well, either way, it's a great way to get a lot of skill seeds and stuff, so you can get upgrades. It's
fairly common when you introduce a big new thing like this, you start adding catch-up mechanics for the old stuff, because you don't want to shut out the newer players.
Yeah, they do also have another EX, or what do they call it? Another summoning event going on right now too.
Yes, they are having a special thing for Black Friday with increased summon rates on the Supreme cards.
Supreme cards, that's what it was. And I still cannot draw one to save my life.
I should give that a go.
And let me guess, you're going to get the rest of them that you don't have.
3 in one shot. It'll be great.
Probably, knowing you.
So yeah, that's what I've got on that front.
So yeah, that does the gotcha, because basically everything else is going to be, we're talking about FanFest.
Woo! So that is kind of the thing that occupied all of the attention. With good reason.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, I thought that...
Wait, there was a FanFest recently.
I guess. That's what people are saying. Yeah, it only took up like all of social media, for like most of the weekend. It was hard to
Minor detail.
not catch what was going on with you guys. But from this end, it looked like it was a very well-run event.
Oh my God. They had actual crowd management techniques this year. It was amazing.
It was a lot better.
Yeah. Like they actually had stuff for line management, a lot of stuff for how they were directing. Just made things so much easier this time around.
Yeah, how was the security?
Really good.
Yeah. It wasn't too
Wait.
much of an issue. They just had like metal detectors and a bag scanner thing when you were coming in. People moved through the lines pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was nice that they did that, in the wake of the events that happened last year in Vegas. Not having anything to do with FanFest in the past. Is more just a general safety thing for a large crowd of people like that. So it's nice that they were looking out for everybody.
Which was nice.
Yep. So without actually getting into like the content of what was discussed, because we're going to be talking about that in our discussion, were your guys' thoughts on the event in general?
Oh,
Stylish.
Yeah. I'll let Chille go first.
Okay. I actually I don't know, it was a lot bigger. It seemed a lot more professional in my opinion than the previous ones. It looked smarter and cleaner.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, from my understanding, the Rio was just a little bit more of a bigger open area versus what we had at the Paris.
Well, no, there was more different areas.
Yeah, everything wasn't in one room this time.
Yeah, they actually specifically subdivided a lot of the rooms. So, like, I remember that was always a thing when you had the talks going on. It would be a little distracting by what was going on with setting up, like, the battles, for like the battle challenges or things like that. Those would be going on right nearby.
Yeah.
So they actually had stuff sectioned off much better.
Yeah, and not having merch line right there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind
For
of
the merch line, they had.
Go ahead.
They had it subdivided into two areas. They had a merchandise pickup area, so they would just prepare the bags. So you could put in your order, and then you could come back a bit later to actually pick up your stuff.
I saw some pictures of some of the orders that had already been put together, and wow, that was a lot of orders.
Oh yeah, and that was another one that again they were running very well. When I went to pick up my stuff.
Yeah, it looked crazy from the pictures I saw.
Yeah. But it, like, went through all the items. The people they had doing it seemed really on top of things. They really knew what was going. I felt like they actually had people who were familiar with the games and like would understand the players and the like. I think last year I remember just from listening to them, they grabbed a bunch of people from a temp agency.
Yep.
So yeah, much better this time around.
How about some of the outside events? I know you guys did attend the LBR community after party on Friday night.
We ended up doing the equivalent of hanging around in the kitchen at the party, hanging around at the entrance area, because something went. I'm still not 100% sure what happened with it, but something went wrong and Moose couldn't get in for a while. And he's a nice guy, and I like hanging out with him, so I kept him company.
Yeah, I stayed down I stayed with Moose for a bit because I felt bad that nobody else was. Because I saw him down there, so I thought I'd stay down there, and Seyrr turned up, so we ended up chatting for a bit.
He's like a really nice guy, just in general. I like hanging out with him. He's fun to talk to.
And then I got bored of standing, so I went and sat on the sofa for a bit because I'm an old man.
Yeah, you're an old man. We were talking about tax implications of the consulting work he did. Like, put me in the grave already. I was standing in the equivalent of the kitchen talking about tax forms, and I was enjoying it.
Hey,
Here lies Seyr's youth.
But yeah, the LBR after party, I had fun. In fact, I met Luna Tone at the LBR after party. In fact, they'd contacted me a few times on Twitter trying to meet up with me, but due to stuff and things, we never met. But they were staying in the same hotel as the LBR after party, so they came to meet me and gave me a little bag of job stones.
Oh, very nice.
And they sent a lovely tweet, and yeah, and they also met RV and Pete from She-Heals I Tank, Twitch on Tuesday She-Heals I Tank, also.
Oh my god, trying to keep up with the social media flood was pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those
I think I
who
did
were doing
okay,
it,
but I missed a couple.
I didn't even try.
I was paying a lot of money to do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I was connecting from my phone. It was £6. I've got my phone bill's like double next month now. So it's £6 a day to use data. One in
Yeah.
America.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, but worth it.
did you guys meet up with anybody else other than
I
those?
met up with loads of people.
Oh,
met
yeah.
with Kane. I met up. I can't name everyone I met up. It's hard. I met with Buttons from my server. Met a lot of people kept up and coming to say, "Are you chilly?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then we hugged and took pictures.
Yeah. I met up with Scarlett and Kane. We ended up getting brunch, and I got to introduce Scarlett to Benedict's. Brohamet and I, at one point, Brohamet from the Crucible, were just kind of tired and overloaded, so we went back to the hotel room and watched the Twitch stream of the producer live letters. It's like, you know what, we're gonna get the same stuff, and this way it's a little less crowded.
Yeah,
We
Fair
picked up appetizers from the TGI Fridays downstairs, went up and had I had mozzarella sticks. I forget what he got.
So I couldn't be bothered sitting in because all the chairs had gone. So
Mhm.
I went into the press room and loaded up on my phone.
Nice.
So you know what? The press room has chairs.
Well, hopefully
Oh, yeah.
you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this is one thing I do appreciate, that the fact that they put all the stuff, like everything except for the concerts, being made available on the Twitch stream. I think those helped build a lot of the excitement. Let them make sure that they were actually getting the message out that they wanted to. I know there's been issues with people reporting and misinterpreting what was said.
Yeah, I think
Also, it was nice that every room had a screen. So even if you're in the waiting for the Yojimbo battle, there was actually the screen so you could actually watch the main room.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff for that.
Yeah.
Like, again, very well thought out.
Yep.
Whoever did the organizing this year.
Yeah, I guess I watched basically the entirety of FanFest on Twitch. I think my only complaint was I missed some of the interactions. You know, they didn't have as much on the floor reporting.
Yeah,
It was basically they just showed the stage events, and you know, the keynotes, the live letter, the between two ferns, the Q&A, PvP. They showed that stuff, but you know, when we were there in 2016, the community team was down, kind of showing the games and interviewing people from that were actually at the event, and I thought that was a really cool thing, and I kind of missed that.
Yeah, that'd been nice if they'd done that again.
Unless I totally missed it, but like I said, I watched the majority of the stream and I didn't see any of that. They were just kind of showing a lot of ads for their different partners that they used to work with to get this up and running. So.
Oh, and when you talk about ads, as soon as they got to the last part of the live layer, I just left because I knew what it was going to be. And it's like, now for the last part. I'm like, yeah, bye everyone. And I'm done.
All right. So it sounds like you guys had an amazing time. I'm glad you both made it home safely. You know, and for the most part, in good health.
By the way, it was nice to see you again, sir.
Did we lose Seyrr?
Did I scare him off?
I think
by
we
saying
lost
that?
Seyrr. Hopefully Seyrr realizes that we can't hear him, and we'll reconnect shortly. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, I'll be able to join you guys again in 2020.
That sounds good to me.
Bring Luna as well. She wants to go a lot. She watched it as well, and I know she's really hyped for FanFest 2020.
I'm hyped for FanFest 2020 because I enjoyed it so much.
Yep.
I didn't think I'd ever go back again because although as much as I had fun, it was one of those things I was just expected to do once. And now that I've done it twice,
Oh, he lost his internet. Wow.
Oh, well. Yeah,
Yep.
we've got to get them all together and we've got to do a live Phoenix Down radio again.
Again, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think I have to say, you know, in doing this for 3 years, that was probably the most fun that I had doing a podcast was live, in person, at the Paris, and it was amazing.
It's going to be hard to top that checkpoint radio thing that I did. I know I got a few minutes. I wish I had longer, but that was so much fun.
It looked like fun, and I was there in the chat watching you guys.
Yeah, I rewatched it. I saw that people just said Chille. I'm like, yeah.
But
I had the poop hat.
yes, Chille.
Which I still have, by the way.
And
I still have.
well, like I said, in 2020 you can bring it back and give it to Pete and Navi then. Is your internet better, Seyrr? Crickets.
His internet's been DDoS. Damn you, Square Enix.
They're DDoSing him because he's saying things. But let's not just talk about the opinion of Chille and Seyrr of their FanFest. There have been a bunch of articles that have gone out as well, and I want to kind of just reference two of them for reasons you'll see in a moment. A lot of you may be familiar with an infamous website called Rock Paper Shotgun.
I feel dirty just having the name in our Twitch.
I know. Well, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna send a link to the archive. If you guys want to read this.
Don't worry, I refuse to read it, even the archive. So.
Oh, I read it because I wanted to see what the whole hubbub was about, and this guy was brought into FanFest, paid for by, and it was all paid by Square Enix. From our understanding, I mean, they paid for everything for this person, and basically, they trashed the player base. They are also the person responsible for asking about brothels during the media press event. So,
fuck them so much. No, because then they'd complain about that. Screw. No.
Yeah. Terrible article. Sorry for bringing it up, but the reason I wanted to do this because there was also an article that was posted. I'm gonna post the Twitter link. Hold on. Dang it. I'm having problems with all the things right now.
I mean, they insult Namazus. They don't deserve to live.
Yeah, but the link that I just posted there in the Twitch chat actually points to an amazing Game Informer article. The reason I'm comparing these two is basically these two writers are coming in with similar knowledge of Final Fantasy XIV. That is very little. They're very new and novice to what Final Fantasy XIV is. One came in with a very open mind, asked a lot of questions, was able to get some amazing responses, and wrote a very thoughtful, well-written, and tactful article. The other one's a dumpster fire. So, just amazing you get two people with similar experience, and you get two totally different takes on that, and it scares me. So I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to say that not all game journalists are trash. I mean, Chille is a game journalist.
Yeah, I wish I'd been to the media interview now.
So you could have smashed this guy in the head.
Yeah, I would have smacked him one.
And be like, dude, what the fuck? You know, you don't go into somebody's house and basically start talking trash after they invite you and pay to get you there.
Yeah. I would have Square Enix, you should have paid for me to go there. I would have written a nice article. I'd be like, Namazus are cool.
Yeah. Now
Namazu.
Now I don't think that, just because somebody pays to get you there that you necessarily have to give them a
you don't have to write good
super
review.
Positive review, but you can be respectful.
I mean, come on. There was nothing bad about that FanFest, really.
Yeah, I mean,
if it had been last FanFest, then I would like half of the article would have been the line complaints, the merch line.
Oh, I mean, we had a lot of complaints about the 2016 FanFest.
Yeah, but this 2018, I can't really think of many complaints. All I had, if any, everything was smooth. The lines went well. The events were fun. They had variety of stuff to do.
Yeah. I think my biggest problem with the article written by RPS was the fact that he basically was trashing the player base and the people who were
Yeah.
attending. It was just horribly done. There was no tact at all. Basically calling the people who attended that just short of cultists.
Yeah.
He called the Primals concert a giant karaoke session. I mean, does he not realize that the Primals are actually a touring rock band?
I'm gonna go with no.
But no, it.
By the way,
Yeah.
I might have to go to European FanFest.
Ooh.
Did you see what they've got for sale?
No.
A primal Moogle.
Oh yes, I did see that. And
It's
it is
a Moogle,
amazing.
a primal outfit.
Yes, it's dressed like Koji, and I think it has a
Yeah.
guitar too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's got the hat though, right?
I think so.
So it's got like Koji's hat and like Soken's guitar or something like that. It is really cute. So for those of you who are will be attending the FanFest in Paris, the pre-orders for merch are live right now.
I don't know how you can do it though.
So Fusion saying he doesn't think there's a hat. For some reason I think that I saw a hat, but I could be misremembering.
Okay.
It would be amazing with a hat, I think. And it was available at the NA one? Okay.
It was? I didn't know that. I thought it was just European.
But it is still pretty cool. But I think that the way that article was written just rubbed me the wrong way. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
So let's not
Nice.
delve too much on that. So I just wanted to link them so people can check them out if they're interested at all.
But check out the archive because don't give them money.
Yeah. Are you working now, Seyrr? I'm going to take that as a no. So, FanFest 2018.
There we go.
Ooh,
Oh, there we go. Yay.
he's alive.
Let's not go that far.
Okay. He's not dead.
That works.
Okay. So you I think you did that on purpose just so you didn't have to talk about those articles.
Oh, I don't even know what I missed, but okay, sure.
All right.
That was definitely on purpose.
So let's go ahead and jump into the discussion then. Let's talk about the keynote. So the hype started early with we got the teaser trailer for 5.0. And Shadowbringers as the name of the expansion was confirmed. So kudos to whoever found that trademark. Good job. They need to hide that a little bit better, I think.
Well, it's hard for them to just public knowledge, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. And we have a really inquisitive player base.
To be honest, it actually took a while for us to find it, really.
Yeah, I think it was applied for back in May, and it didn't come out until July.
I think it was
Or
even later
August.
than that. Yeah, August time.
Yeah, it was like midsummer. So basically, the storyline that they give us, tension grips the land as 6 nations now stand allied against Garlemald. With the threat of war on the horizon, the Warrior of Light comes face to face with an old enemy, Xenos. Could this impending conflict serve as a catalyst for an 8th and final Umbral era? It is time once and for all to face the Garlean Empire. Dun dun dun. And basically they had put up 3 different points. What will become of the Warrior of Light and the allied armies with the Scions basically incapacitated? And with the first Emperor, Solus Zos Galvus, he plays an important role with Elidibus, who inhabits Xenos' body. Who are the Ascians and what are their goals? And also, who are Zodiark and Hydaelyn? And then the final point is the Warrior of Light must become the Warrior of Darkness. Thoughts on that?
Well, consider the fact that we do everything anyway. Number one's just normal plot point.
We just less having to run back and forth between wherever we have to be in the Rising Stones.
Yeah, we'll just get shit done faster. We'll be like, oh, no, we've got to go over there. Okay, we've done that now. We don't have to go all the way back, just to go all the way back over there again. So, yeah.
Hopefully less fetch quests.
Yeah, maybe less fetch quests. I never forget that one way. Wasn't it after? I think it was after Ifrit, where it's like, congratulations, you've beaten Ifrit, the primal of fire, the god of whatever's. Now go clean the docks and pick up trash.
I
Do you
don't
remember that?
remember
Is it working?
Yeah, we hear you.
But,
Do you hear
yeah,
us?
Seyrr, do you remember
Yes.
when we had to go clean the docks after beating Ifrit? Because we had to clean like the fishing lines and stuff. We had to go
That
pick up
sounds
the trash.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Oh, between Horizon and
Yeah,
the Waking Sands, that little
Yeah.
village.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like, you've beaten Ifrit, now go clean the docks.
Oh.
Or at least it's not. We have to go cater our own party.
Hey, at least if we care our own party, there's less chance of us poisoning ourselves.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even get to eat any of it.
I mean,
you know,
goblin cheese, do you want to?
You got a point. Well, they say the stinkier the better.
yeah, that's how it works.
Anyway, so some features that they talk about. Multiple new jobs. None were revealed for actual 5.0. But they said they hinted at something within the trailer. Probably that gunblade on Thancred's back.
Which
Yeah.
I swear looks so much like the level 41 machinist weapon, blue steel. Though I haven't gotten a chance to freeze frame it and actually look.
Uh-oh. I think Seyr's internet is not very happy with him today.
Anyway, it sounded okay to me.
I saw he just disappeared.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the rumored job is supposedly soldier, isn't it? If the leak's
Well,
right.
that's what people have been speculating on with the they've been digging through the data mined information, and they saw SLD, I think is what they saw,
Yeah.
along with Dancer, DNC.
To be honest, out of all the characters, Thancred is the one that makes sense for Gunblader.
How so?
Well, remember he lost access to using Aether because of the what happened at the end of what
2.55?
Yeah. So it would make sense that the guy that keeps sneaking into Garlemald
Steals a gunblade?
Is around using the weapon of the people that also can't use Aether. Because remember, Garleans can't use Aether, so
That's true. Though, yeah, we'll talk about what I thought the gunblade job was going to end up being in a bit once we talk about what we got at the end of the keynote.
yeah. Level cap raised to 80 or so. Whoa!
Yeah, no surprise there.
I was hoping it was 75 for shits and giggles.
And then we have to go fight Matt.
Yeah. Neo Matt.
A lot of battle system changes and revamping.
The biggest change is the fact that they're removing TP.
Yeah, they're combining TP and MP for all jobs, which I'm okay with.
It's going to be weird.
I mean, it's going to help because we're not going to have a song for both MP regen and TP regen. They can combine them together. So that'll free up a little action
jobs
there.
like Paladin, where our highest DPS burst is our magic attack, Holy Spirit. You know, it's going to be hard balancing Holy Spirit and then using your TP moves to do damage and keep aggro.
Well, they're going to change that. You know, they're just going to convert everything, change the values, so that way things aren't going to be like 20, 30, 50 TP. They're going to be however many MP.
Or maybe MP will be adjusted to be 1,000-point scale. Also high again.
I doubt that because piety is a very important stat for the caster classes.
Could be that piety is disabled for anything that's not a caster.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the way I might do it in that case is have piety affect the cost of spells rather than the amount of MP you have.
Okay.
Or it could affect how much MP you have, but it only affects the MP of actual casters.
Well, right now it's just healers.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, I think that having it be a variable amount, having TP be the one that vanishes and MP be the effective thing is the more likely.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know enough at this point.
True.
It'd be also interesting to see if like Invigorate or Goad becomes MP based moves instead.
More than
So
likely.
maybe I could restore the MP of a healer.
I mean,
As a
consider your bards or machinists with their refresh and their tactician.
Yeah.
Yep, it's basically just going to become refresh at that point.
It's one solution for the entire party is the big thing.
Klauss, refresh me.
No. Actually, for you, it would be a fuck no. But no, I like that they're doing that. It's going to simplify things a bit and make things a little bit easier to handle. One less thing to have to manage.
I'm just going to find it weird when I can have to scream, oh shit, my monk is out of mana.
Well, it's. I guess the other thing that's going to be interesting is it to be how fast we're going to be regaining MP at this point.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be spending it quite fast. How are they going to increase the amount that gets regen at a normal rate while you're in a battle?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of cool things, and hopefully they do something about the button bloat. I know they addressed it again, saying that yes, we know that your hot bars are all full, and we need to do something
Unless
about
you're a
that.
monk.
So, or
Unless
a
you're a
paladin
monk.
or a tank, you're just hitting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
But you got to remember, we didn't get a single new move in Stormblood, so
Monks didn't
no.
really.
Well, we got one new button, which was Brotherhood, really. But the only attack we got was tackle, fire tackle, fire tackle, earth tackle, wind tackle, which is just it replaces whatever shoulder tackle you have with your stance. So if you got fire stance, shoulder tackle becomes fire tackle.
Okay.
Earth stance, earth tackle. Wind tackle.
Interesting.
That's literally our only attack we got.
Okay. Well,
Maybe so.
but like I said, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing to improve all of that.
I want 100 fists.
You want 100 fists?
100 fists. Or I want kicks.
You might get it. You want to be Chun-Li instead?
I want
Chun-Li or E Honda?
How about
both?
I want my counters back.
Hey, Susan, thank you for stopping in. We appreciate that. And
Oh, hey, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Also, I want counters. And kicks. And an actual attack in Shadowbringers.
Maybe.
Well, we've got the Kamehameha.
Maybe.
We've got Super Saiyan. So I want Kaioken.
This isn't Dragon Ball.
Come on. Monka's Kamehameha. It adds the Spirit Bomb, because that's what Brotherhood looks like. It's got Super Saiyan with Grease Lightning. I just want another Dragon Ball move.
Well, we
okay?
do have the power-up emote.
Yeah, see? I just want one
That's
more.
all you get, Chili. That's all you get. Moving on.
Destructo Disc.
They talked about the new areas we're getting, and they showed off 2 of them. The Raktika Greatwood. Gee, that looks like a really nice place for maybe some furry friends to join us in this game, huh?
They could bounce around.
Yeah.
Bounce
With their
around.
big long ears.
And yeah.
And fluffy
Also, remember,
tails.
if you fall off, you don't die, just like unlike EverQuest.
That was funny. And I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this. Arang.
Moringa?
A desert area that has a large crystalline wave.
Yeah.
Lots of old ruins. Very interesting
Also, the
looking
camera
place.
wasn't off. It was tilted.
Of course.
Oh, no, they actually had a comment on that. There was like
Yeah.
a particular thing where it looked like the city was a bit at, or whatever the structure was, that it was at a bit of an angle. And they're probably like,
'Cause it
no, this
was.
isn't being off. It's like, yes, it actually is like that.
Yeah, because the camera was
Something
straight.
happened there.
The city was crooked. And they said we're getting new primals and beast tribes, and they introduced us to the Numo.
They were so cute. I like them.
Yep.
Little-
Longtime players of like the Final Fantasy Tactics games will recognize them.
Yep. So these are probably going to be in an Evilise-like area.
Yeah. They also said that there's going to be dwarfs and pixies.
Yeah, which people didn't have that much reaction about. I was a little surprised.
I never.
What's that? Sorry.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they said there's going to be dwarfs and pixies.
Maybe,
They didn't say if they're going to be beast tribes, but they said that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
maybe because it wasn't actually on one of the
Yeah.
screens that they
Yeah.
didn't really catch that or something.
All I know is I'm going to be just really disappointed, but at the same time really happy if the dwarfs are just Lalafels with giant beards.
Probably. and then the females have beards too.
Yeah, everyone has beards.
Everybody has beards.
And the pixies are just like loads of a race of Eoses that have, quit because they don't want to be the main healers anymore.
Well, can you blame them? They don't get any of the credit. They don't get any commands.
They're like made their own little society because they don't want to be.
Damn scholars! Just they're such a bunch of assholes for taking all the glory. They're also hoping to have 9 new dungeons by release,
Which I think is one more than Stormblood.
I'm trying to remember. I didn't actually count them all. There was going to be new raids, both for Endgame and for the 24-man. So, big surprise, right?
I'm shocked.
This part I liked, though. They're talking about adding some Endgame content for the crafters and gatherers.
Diadem.
So you're saying Ishgard is going to fall off the map and become useless?
Become useless. When did it become useful? It's Ishgard.
All right, safe. I'm actually excited by this. I mean, people were then speculating that, after this is complete, we may get Ishgard housing.
By the way, I want to call this, by the way. I was, the night before we were FanFest, we were joking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Airbnb, and I said, imagine it, right? Everyone's been asking for Ishgard housing, but they've always said that they can't do it because it's, the war that's been going on. There's not enough,
Yep.
You can't really. I said, imagine if they give us like little shanty houses that we have to craft up ourselves.
So so our endgame content is crafting shanties.
Yeah, we start off like with little shanty houses, like little cardboard houses.
Seyrr, what do you think of that?
I just connected in again. What am I thinking about?
What do you think about building shanty houses in Ishgard?
Oh God,
Well,
are
it
you
starts
there?
off like that.
Did I lose it again?
No, we hear you.
Okay, I heard something about shanty
Yeah.
Ishgard.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on having to build shanty houses for Ishgard as our housing area?
As it
fucking
starts off
hate
like
it.
that, but then as we spend more time, we make it expand.
I mean, we are the savior of Ishgard, rider of.
Uh-oh. Seyrr, I think you need to restart your modem. Or call your cable provider because you're cutting in and out terribly today.
To be fair, it's Ishgard, so it's fine.
Are you saying you don't care about Ishgard?
I don't care about Ishgard.
But we're the savior of Ishgard and the stealer of pants.
I only like one of those titles.
Stealer of pants.
That's the title I like.
Yep. We'll be getting new gear and recipes. And we're getting
Yay.
trusts.
Yes.
Isn't it a little early for trusts?
No.
I think it's just slightly early for trusts, personally.
I feel like it's something that they've been working on for a long time.
Well, I think the Squadrons has been kind of a beta test for it.
Yeah. And even then, they talked about stuff like trusts in 1.0. When they talked about the companions and having a Magitech armor.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've
It's
been
been
talking
something
about
that they've
that for a while.
I feel like trust is something that they've just been working on with companions and squadrons and this. It's just been something that has been building up.
So instead of bringing our Chocobo or our Magitech armor or something like that, we're going to be able to bring in other NPCs in instead, similar to what 11 does.
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to have to unlock them in a similar fashion?
Oh yeah, I think we'll have to do side quests that involve them
Okay.
But I also think there might be events where we'll get them, where we might get trusts that are not alive anymore. So I'm calling it now that we'll get Horshathon at some point.
I hope not. I think that there'll be outrage if we do get him. It's going to be, you're either going half the people are going to be just absolutely, over the moon.
Yeah.
The other half are going to be enraged. There's not going to be any people that are like, Everyone's going to be angry or just ecstatic.
I mean, come on, Hildebrand's got to be a trust.
I don't want him.
Why not?
Because he'll blow everything up. And we're going to have to fix it.
It'll be like, hell, it'd be amazing if you could have the Hildebrand squad, like him, his mother, his dad, Godbert, Julia, Godbert, and Nashu.
So basically, you have to do all the work again.
I mean, to be fair, with AI in these games,
you already have to.
Yeah.
I mean, have you run any squadron missions in dungeons?
Yeah, I actually enjoy them, but I always run tank, so.
You have to run tank.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried running it as DPS and I've tried running as healer. And like I said, it's almost impossible. I mean, it's impossible to do it as a DPS because you are ripping hate away and they just do not get it back fast enough. It's kind of the same with healing because if you're trying to keep them alive, you're sitting there just, you're just trying to keep them alive and then they're coming after you and you're like, crap, so you got to keep yourself alive and everything's coming after you and it's not pretty.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the trust stuff if it isn't used for current content. If it's used for older content, then I can see it being useful. Like if you're going to help a friend or whatever, and there's like two of you and you want to run summit, and you're like, okay, well, there's only two of us. You need 4 people. I'll bring my trusts. Just join me and we'll do the things.
1 second, I'm working with Seyrr here to try and figure out what's going on.
Okay, then I shall talk more about trusts.
Yeah, if you want to, please.
I would love to see like I don't know, just have all different trusts. I mean, imagine some Beastman trusts from the old Beastman quests. They could go back and add them. Maybe I'd actually do the Beastmaster quests, Beastman quest then.
Okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting one if we were to bring in like one of the heroes from the Beast tribes.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. I would like to see something like that added in.
There's so many different options that they could do in this game.
Yeah, as long as it's not Moogles.
Well, to be fair, we've got to get at least one Moogle. And not all trusts have to be party-based. There's trust in 11 support, which really only appear for... You don't have to have them out. They just appear and just having them out buffs the party. Like if I'm rightly...
like they'll just maybe randomly appear in a dungeon you're running or something?
No, like if I'm rightly, the Star Stibble doesn't really do much, but when she's in your party, she like gives like stat bonus to the whole party. So you could have like Chataru singing, I guess.
I'm just wondering how some of that would work if you're running a dungeon with trusts,
Yeah.
I can see how it could work with some of the open world content.
Which, you can't just balance the trust just for dungeons because it's designed for open world for fates as well. So. Yeah,
I mean, potentially for helping you level up. Which we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Where you could really use that. So
the only worry I don't know, but I don't think they do it in 11. But I hope they don't cut into the XP.
Yeah,
in 14.
Hopefully they don't, because it's bad enough as it is trying to level so low. But they only showed pictures of the Scions, but they didn't confirm anybody for this. So we could be getting anybody as a potential trust.
I feel like we'll only get the Scions at launch.
Probably. Well, hopefully that means that they're out and up and about again. So maybe they spoiled it. I don't know.
Well, we saw Fangreed up and about, so.
That's true. New Game Plus was announced. Allows you to replay 2.0, 3.0, and or 4.0 content, but with current level and strength. And you can replay these from the beginning or from any point.
I think from the beginning.
They didn't really specify. I mean, I'm hoping that we can pick and choose certain things to replay.
I don't think you can.
So, and the other question I have with this, if you do a New Game Plus, do you have to finish all of this before you can get back into to continue the storyline?
I don't think they said anything about that.
Yeah,
so
I don't
know.
recall anything like that. So, I mean, if we end up starting a New Game Plus once we finish 5.0, and then we decide to replay 3.0, or stupidly replay 2.0, and all of those quests, I mean, are we going to be able to continue on when 5.1 is released?
No, I think you'd probably have to beat 2.0 and 3.0. Imagine you have to beat 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0.
Or maybe it's something you can toggle on and off.
Maybe.
So you can flip it off, go back to the main storyline, up to the current part of it, turn it back on, continue where you were left off. Like I said, I think ideally it would be nice if it gave us a list of the quests that we could go back and do and run those things. Because I know a lot of people, myself included, who would like to go back and do the single person instances.
I don't think you can do that.
That's what I'm
really
hoping
don't.
for, but I doubt we're getting that as well.
I kind of wish it wasn't scaled up though. I wish that you were scaled to the level content.
But then you may as well just run a new character.
Yeah, but it's going to be less fun if you run in and you're level 80.
Well, what if
And
they
you
scale
replay
up the enemies?
What if they don't?
We'll have to see
What
what
if you
happens. It was never specified either way.
Yeah. I'm hoping they're scaled up because otherwise it's just going to be boring.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's not scaled up like super high to where you're like fighting a mob that's got 300,000 HP.
But at the same
Unless
time, you
it's
don't
the
want to go
boss,
in and
but-
one-shot it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we do when we run in
Yeah.
Sastasha just to get your 1 through 49 in your Wondrous Tales. I mean, who else does that just to get it?
I do. In fact, I'd run all the way to the end.
Yeah.
I have every enemy chase me to the end.
Just fight the bosses and you're done. You're through in like a minute and a half.
Good times.
This next thing that they announced has me extremely excited.
That's true. 1 second, Grim says there are a lot of gear sets that are only given out in Quest people want another shot at.
Well,
They give you the rewards again now.
oh, I see. Yeah, that's a good question. Are they going to give you the option to get some of those rewards? Though I think most of the gear that was given away as rewards, it's not something you had to choose between. And if it was a choice item, you can also buy that from an NPC or it's craftable.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what it brings.
I'm going to say it decreased the price of materia, but that's worthless anyway.
Yeah. Materia has really crashed right now. I mean, with Eureka, you get so much materia in those chests, and even a lot of tier 6s is going for sub 2,000, so. With the exception of crafting and gathering stuff. The only thing it's really good for right now is basically gambling with Mutamix.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on. World Visit was announced. The first step for us getting mega servers. Basically, you can go visit any world on your data center by going to one of the 3 main city-states Aetherites, clicking on it, choosing to visit another world, clicking the world you want to visit, and you can stay there for as long as you want.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
If you log out there, you log back in that world as well.
Yep. You do not leave that world until you come back to the Aetherites and say, go back to your home world.
Yeah. But remember, there is a load of limitations still.
Yep.
Like you cannot sell stuff, you cannot buy.
Well, they went over a lot more stuff within the live letter.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss more about the world transfer when we get to that point. So we're going to keep moving on. Hopefully, Seyrr is having luck with his equipment.
Yeah.
Poor guy. And then some other announcements they put up. They're ending support for 32-bit Windows. So no more Windows 32-bit limitations.
Yeah, which is a thing.
It is. It really is. I mean, the reason that we can only see so many things in houses right now is a lot of it has to do with memory limitations on Windows 32-bit.
Yeah. If I'm right, the Windows 32 limit is like 3 point something gig RAM.
4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Whereas you can have terabytes of RAM with 64-bit.
Yeah. The
Um,
PS4 is the limit for RAM now.
but like I said, PS4 has less limitations than 32-bit. It at least
yeah.
runs 64-bit operating system, I believe.
Yeah. It has
So-
8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, so it's got to be 64-bit.
Yeah.
And they also then at this point announced new data centers for NA and EU.
Crystal and Light, I think it was.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that one, they knew that there was going to be a lot of concerns. Anytime you have not just new data centers, but rearrangement of the existing worlds, there's a question of who's going to be broken up.
Yep, and they talked about that in the live letter, so
Yeah.
we'll go over it at that point.
They acknowledged early on that was going to be a
Yep.
thing.
They did though
Got out in
announce
front of that, at
for
least.
The
those
Balmung data center.
yes, basically.
We'll get to that.
Yep. They did announce that for a 2-week period while they're doing this adjusting, there will be free world transfers.
Yeah.
For
We'll
NA
get to
and
that.
EU. Like I said, this was announced during the live letters or during the keynote. So, basically, they didn't confirm it, but they strongly hinted at a new race. Kind of the whole shirt reveal thing.
Man, I can't wait to play as Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Clearly, the new job is going to be a street racer of some sort.
Yes. Well, I think it has to do with the motorcycle mounts, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Oh my god, the new Golden Saucer event must be wacky races.
Yes.
Ooh.
Catch the pigeon. Catch the pigeon.
Basically, it's all but been confirmed. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. We're getting Vieira.
What did we confirm about your butt?
Confirm that Vera's a butts.
Yes, they have bunny butts.
Bunny butts?
And
I feel like we knew that.
and I think SE's stock went up about 5,000 points after that because of the amount of Fantasias that people were going to go buy.
Well, no, they won't have to buy one, will they?
If they want to change a current character, they may. Not
No,
everybody has.
Every time they've added a new race, they've given everyone a Fantasia.
Yeah,
Have they?
actually.
So I'll have another
When-
Fantasia on me then, huh?
Yeah, they're remarkably fair about that. I appreciate it.
That is cool.
I remember the Aura. Well, I think you have to buy the collector's edition, or is it a pre-order boat? I can't remember. I know that when the Aura came out, you actually got a Fantasia if you pre-ordered. I think it was. So
I don't remember. I know I had 3 at one point, and now I have 1.
Oh, how have you got one left?
Because
Lala fell and back.
Yep,
Ah,
2 years ago
okay.
to get to FanFest. That was one of the things. Somebody donated $100 to make me into Lalafell. Damn it, Sayo.
Yay!
Good times.
But basically, they said they're going to be dropping a massive hint during 4.5 during the new
Fran.
24-man raid.
Fran.
Yeah. And then they said that February 2nd is going to be the next keynote, and Yoshi wanted to end it there.
I have
but-
3 too already. Oh, by the way, before we leave, I want to laugh, right? I want to laugh because there's no male Vera. There has been no male Vera yet.
Actually, that's not true.
The trees.
No, there is male of the race. There was something shown. I saw it in Twitter. There was official SE canon.
Concept art for 14.
Oh, I thought it was also a part of 12.
No,
When they're talking
Yeah,
about
12,
the
they're
Vieira
trees.
and the Fail.
yeah, the trees.
Seyrr?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I am not 100% sure. Give me a sec. Doing some quick research.
Male Vera in 12 are trees.
I don't think that's true.
It is true. So what I want to say is, because male Veras don't exist, I want the male Veras to be like Lalafells in a way, just to balance out. You got like that aura. You got the cute little females and the big strong men. I want for the bunny race. I want big strong women and the cute little.
So taken from the Final Fantasy XII Scenario Ultimania, page 88. It even provides the ISBN for it. in the Evilly setting, male Viera do exist. They create separate settlements and only communicate with the females when necessary, as the males are secretive and competitive for food and space, even within their own species.
Oh, there we go.
So there. It doesn't say that they're trees, but it also doesn't say that they're not trees.
There is a lot of stuff talking about how the Viera have like kind of this special relationship with the wood, but the wood and the trees do not literally act as the males for the species.
Okay.
Sorry, Chille.
Still, I want my cute little male bunny race.
Bunny trees not confirmed.
Yeah, I heard a number of people hoping that you're going to have something like the dimorphism of the Owl Ra, but in the other direction.
It would be interesting, I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of like, you remember, I think it was Crystal Chronicles, a little bunny race.
Those are Moogles, aren't they? Or no, I know that the 12 ones, the Moogles look like bunnies.
I'm trying to remember, there's one that had like little bunny looking things.
So let's see, you've got the Lilties, which are the Lalafell-like ones. You've got the Selkies, which are the kind of super agile ones. The Clavets are the very standard-looking human ones. I forget the name of the other type, but they're like kind of large bird things. They have helmets.
Yeah.
Those are the Crystal Chronicles races, at least.
Okay.
I can't remember what I'm thinking of then.
All right, and it's at that point, as Yoshi's trying to end the keynote, he's interrupted by Square Enix president Matsuda, who comes out...
Definitely, totally...
Yeah, totally unscripted, just decided to come out, of his own volition in a blue robe and mask, and a cane.
This is when he... Yeah.
Sorry, what's there?
Have we lost Sarah again?
Yep.
This is seriously happening every time I say something now.
I'm not sure if it's your internet or if it's your headset. Are you plugged into it with it right now?
No, but the battery...
I would plug it in, please. It might help. Your battery might be getting weak.
Yeah, the battery's charged. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Yeah, but let's try running it plugged in. I had to do it with mine for a while before I switched over.
All right.
Anyway, so we were then given the announcement of Blue Mage. It's a limited job, not connected to any class, and it's coming out in patch 4.5.
In January.
Yes. So at the beginning of January, we're going to have a new class to play.
Yep. They made mention of the fact that people asked if they were ever going to do a midstream job release like they did with Ninja before, and he always made the comment. Apparently, always made the comment like that was such a lot of work, and it was all this effort and all the. And none of that is actually saying we're not going to do it.
Yes, I must have misremembered, but I thought they had said that they're not going to do that again.
They said they would always say, "Oh, it would be all this work, and there was all this stuff that went into it, and it was such a struggle." And all of that can be technically true and not actually preclude it.
Yeah.
Well, their main thing was they're not going to do 3 jobs per expansion again.
No, is that what they said that they're not going to do? Or is that, again, something they said they thought was very difficult and may be hard to replicate?
No, that's what they said they would not do again.
Now watch me get 3 jobs in 5.0.
No, we're going to get 2.
That's what everybody's guessing. We'll talk. And
it's going to feel like 3 though because of Blue Mage being so close.
And the fact that Blue Mage will be increasing in its level and its capabilities with every patch release.
Yeah, they specifically said that it's going to have a lower level cap to start, and they're going to build it up. I'm sure because they want to actually try to figure out how the balance of things looks.
Yeah. I think we're going to basically be beta testing it in 4.5. Yeah. They've got it kind of hashed out up to an ARR level, but they don't know how to include it in the high-end raids yet.
I don't think they're going to include in the high-end raids. They talked a bit about that, which we'll get to when we get to the live letter.
5.5, they could have it up to level 80, and you could potentially put it in on a pre-built
They're
party.
probably not going to do it, and we'll talk about why when we get to the live letter.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think they will, but
we'll have our discussion when we get to the live letter. Okay. Let's do a little bit of talking about the lore panel between 2 ferns.
Oh,
Sarah, this one's all you.
while I'm having up. So yeah, there hasn't actually been a super great summary written up, which means I may be the person who ends up doing it.
Woo! Check it out at phoenixradio.com.
When we get to it. Talked a bit about the lore book, which, given the easier supply, wasn't as much of an issue this time. Lots of fun little references. Actually called up Anonymous on stage because, as Koji says, like, there's this person who was always finding these errors, always pointing out these things. It's like, what am I gonna do? So he hired him.
Woo!
And then promptly pointed out another typo, at which point he got kicked off stage. Someone apparently got a great photo of that. But no, Anonymous is a great guy. Several interesting questions, which again, I'll go ahead and compose up the summaries for those. The slides just had the question and then a very flippant TLDL, which Koji even commented like, this is going to so confuse people when they just look at the slides.
They were hilarious.
Yeah, like the reason for why even though Limsa was founded by sea wolves, why all those various places like the La Negron Great Road or La Nosha or those various other gates were named after with Ellison names, there was an actual explanation for it. The TLDL was Les Personnes Importantes, which he also noted is going to get him very angry emails from the other localization teams. Yeah, it was a good time. Bit of talking about various other members of the team, some of the various jokes that they'd wanted to do for localizing achievement names or other stuff like that. Capcom's complete misunderstanding of a silly reference they wanted to make for the Monster Hunter stuff.
Yep.
And then the rather unexpected "You am the lore," in which we crowdsourced some lore. Taking suggestions from the audience, they had a description for one of the upcoming big fish. And so actually had audience members suggest elements for what made it notable, what it looked like, also what its name was going to be, and then voting on what results they would go with at the end. The actual thing was that they liked enough stuff that they just combined most of the results.
Yeah.
And so we have, let me see if I can find the actual thing, which he then promptly sent, apparently immediately after the panel went back to write it up and send it in, and they had in-game screenshots of it the next day.
The vegetarian.
Yep, I am finding the description of it, which to me, I was grousing a little bit that they went for the Lalafell jokes again, but these things happen.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard as I was watching that.
Yeah, the entire thing was just... let's see. Because it was based on the Leopleurodon.
Yep. I thought they should have named it the Viga Pleurodon.
Oh, yes.
But...
And the text for it actually overflowed the box, which is going to be a concern for the German version, which will probably have even more text. Good time.
It's just going to say, damn it, Koji, in German.
I'd be okay with that. That'd be funny. So, the Leopleurodon, the vegetarian. Fisher legend has there was once a mighty Leopleurodon who... Oh, and side note, I was really impressed that he managed to actually reasonably integrate the suggestions into something that sounded like a reasonable narrative. Who, unsatisfied with the diet of Namazu, is said to have set its sights on plumper prey, namely a portly Lalafellan regent with a penchant for skinny dipping. However, the fish quickly learned the limits of its maw's gape, and crestfallen, abandoned the king, a crown-shaped scar on its upper lip its only prize. But rather than sulk, this beast from the deep spent the rest of its life devouring creatures far larger than it. And now, 5,000 summers later, the descendant of that legendary pioneer polishes off plains folks like they were popotos, proving once and for all, life truly does find a way.
And then
That's a load of shit.
The
description of
item
fish.
description is covered in both bone-hard scales and countless deadly spikes. Spikes which, upon close inspection, appear to be covered in spikes of their own. This slightly bioluminescent specimen is a king among Leopleurodon and lord of the waters near Hell's Lid.
That was probably some of the most amazing crowdsourced information that was ever put into a video game.
That was I don't know how to feel about it. Every bit of it was ridiculous, and he committed to it, and we made it work somehow, and it's beautiful and terrible, and what are we even doing?
We want more.
I can't even.
We need more.
I can't even, guys. I just can't.
We need a petition on the official forums to do more.
I kind of want the Fisherman's Quest in Shadowbringers. One of the quests being one of the Lala fishers being chased by the fish.
Well, I mean, it's a fish that's around Hell's Lid, so I don't know.
It doesn't matter because it's the Fisherman's Quest.
It's coming in 4.5, I bet.
Oh, right. They're adding it in the current patch, so not for Shadowbringers, but you could certainly add it in the current patch.
All right. Anything else you wanted to really talk about with the lore panel?
Lots of interesting tidbits. There was one where they people were asking if a particular character was dead, and they's yes, but we have learned from experience that you're not going to believe us.
Also, we learned that vampires are real.
Yes, they're right behind you.
Yeah.
Good times.
All right. So then they also had on the second, that basically covered the stuff they talked about on the first day, because then after that was basically the concert, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I ended up skipping a lot of the stuff. I certainly enjoyed my time there a lot for meeting the people, but given that the stuff's being broadcast on Twitch, unless you're going to meet people, I'm not sure or you want to show off your cosplay or things like that, I'm not sure it's as necessary to go to FanFest at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I've told everyone that if you didn't get the tickets this year, unless you're going to meet people, really, the fact that the stream is free and everything's on the mug station.
Well, except for the actual physical loot that you guys got.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but...
So, I mean, is that physical loot reason enough to spend the time and money to take the trip and get yada, yada, yada? I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a fun time. I hung out with lots of cool people. Things were great, but... If you're not going specifically for that, I'm not 100% sure how... Oh, man, and I saw the greatest letter in the Horsefant Shrine. It was just amazing.
Yeah, they had to rebuild that again this year.
Yeah.
By the way, one FanFest, I'll actually get to try the mini games.
You didn't do them in 2016?
No, I didn't do them in 2016.
Oh, I did those. I thought they were
fun. I didn't even do them in 2014.
I was happy to see that the Chocobo race was actually that little ball rolling game.
Yeah, the games were fairly high quality. Yeah, there's just lots of good stuff all around. It was a really well done thing, and they should be proud of it.
All right, and then the second day started with the PvP tournament. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I totally skipped that.
You were brunching at the time, I'm sure.
Yeah, we decided that brunching would be way better.
Agreed.
I was exhausted because the LBR after pie was the night before. And I think I got home at 3 a.m. And then Flatus got home around 3:30. And then I think Susan and Shen and that were the last at 4.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because we left the after party after being kicked out and went to the Rio.
The esports arena was great, but then you had random kids who were coming in who were looking at stuff like Xboxes and being fascinated by this ancient console. And once again, we all died a little bit inside.
What made me die inside was this little kid going, "Oh my god, I got in 12th. My mum's going to be so proud of me."
Oh.
Really?
Good for you, kid.
So then after the PvP tournament, was it the was that the live Q&A, or what was after that?
That was the live Q&A. I was in line for Yojimbo during that.
Okay.
Same.
But there were actually quite a few interesting questions that were asked during that.
Yeah, usually those kinds of things are just terrible, but no, they actually had some good questions this time around.
I was particularly pleased with the first question asked. They're talking about having to use VPNs and whether or not Square Enix was working with their ISPs to see about improving latency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, I guess I work with with computers and networks, and I know that it's not always up to the company when you're having issues, and having the ISP, look at those things for you is going to be extremely tough. They don't want to do anything that they don't really need to, but the fact that they're actually looking into it is actually a nice thing.
And I'm happy they brought up the weird bug with O11S. It's kind of funny, actually.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Basically,
it's a bug. We're sorry.
There's a part where you've got 4 giant fists appear on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're supposed to be randomly tethered to them. It's basically the DPS get tethered first, and the tanks and healers. But it's supposed to be completely. Yeah, it's supposed to be random. But if you if you get a party, right, go into O11S, you get to that part, and then the first people get tethered, then the second people get tethered. If you wipe, it will stick to that pattern forever until you actually change your party member.
Yeah, they mentioned this like that's a bug. They didn't want to mess with it because they were concerned about breaking something else in the process.
But it's weird because let's just say you leave that duty and come back. As long as you're in the exact same party as when you left, it will save the same choices.
So it might be something that's accidentally being programmatically determined or like generated by the party arrangement or something.
Yeah. Well, the only way to change it is by having someone leave the party and replace them, or have someone use a Fantasia. For some reason,
Did they really test the Fantasia aspect?
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, if you have the same static and don't change it out, you'll have the same, even multiple days later.
Yeah.
Even after a maintenance.
Yeah. It's why this week, because we had someone different, I actually died because I'm always the first on the first set of fists.
And you didn't realize that you switched or something?
I didn't realize I'd switched because we had a pug, and I was the second set of fists this time, and I got killed.
Well, damn it, Chille, quit worrying about your stacks and watch for mechanics.
No, I just ran to my usual fist, thinking, I'll just go to this one. It's like, why is someone else here? Oh, crap.
Let's see. They talked about... what else did they talk about here? They asked about mixed race characters.
Which they're willing to have as NPCs, but in terms of implementing it for players, it's just not a thing that's really feasible.
Yeah.
They talked about open world PvP actually as well.
They talked about if there's enough people that they might do it on a separate server.
But it's not something that they really have a whole lot of interest in terms of their vision for the game.
I was intrigued by the answers. They said that it's something that they can turn on and off.
I mean, I suppose you just adjust like what their people can attack other players. I don't know. I don't know enough about this actually now that I think about it.
I mean, I recall them actually saying that specifically. It's something that they can turn on and off. So they have thought about it.
Yeah.
Or it's like something that's technically, like technical wise, it's feasible.
They also asked, about what they're going to be doing to improve glamour. Or if there was a way to have glamour plates linked to specific jobs.
Which would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that was specifically the dresser, I think.
I know it was asking about glamour plates. More closely linked to specific jobs.
Also, they plan to consider the 2.x quest.
No, that's something that they're looking at, but they don't know if they will be able to do it because it will take a long time. But
Yeah.
continuing to discuss the glamour plate thing, they'd after that, he said that there's 3 major tasks that they're looking into for it. They're looking at more storage, they're looking at more plates, and they're looking at more areas that they can be used within.
Yeah.
And basically, he did an informal poll asking which one we wanted first. And more glamour plates appears to be the winner. So
Yeah, I
I
assume
tried-
they're going to probably like study it a little more formally before they make a decision.
yeah,
But it definitely seemed like on that and a lot of other questions they were emphasizing, please give us the feedback so we know which of these things to focus on.
Yeah.
By the way, I like the design of the glamour dresser. So I wish we'd get a glamour dresser.
or one we can actually put in our house.
Yeah, but don't actually make it. It's for server load. Don't make it usable. Just for visual look.
You just want the item.
Yeah,
I want the item to work.
I want it to work, but because if they can't get it working, I'd rather they just add the item for looks. Yeah.
Davies
Yeah,
on the
same,
chat
Davey.
is saying,
I would
yeah,
like a better. I would like to change my. It's like my monk and samurai. I want a different outfit for monk and a different outfit for samurai.
well, you could if you create plates for each one of them.
Yeah, but they both use the same gear.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would. Well, no, you can create a plate for each one of them and then just apply the plate. But you would have to create a macro in order to apply the plate automatically for you.
Yeah.
So it is possible to do, and I think people have worked around it. But I think I understand what you're saying. You want it just to happen automatically.
Yeah, I want to be able to link it to my samurai job set, so that way when I change job sets, it just goes. Boop, you're now in your bunny outfit.
Yeah, I
And
think
I can change to my monk outfit, and then like, boop, you're now in
your pig outfit.
Logo. Yeah, there you go, pig.
You have problematic outfit choices.
He's chilly. Come on.
And then I can switch to paladin and be a Moogle knight. Everything's good.
I mean, that's less problematic. That's fine.
The Kupo knight.
They'd also somebody had asked if they can get the haunted house added to the gold saucer, and they said that they didn't want to do that because they wanted to keep it kind of a special event.
But what can they milk every year if they did that?
Yeah, but they did mention at this point that there will be new items coming to the gold saucer, or new events coming to the gold saucer.
Yeah, such as the thing that we'll
two,
talk about
two of
later.
them they specified, and they talked more about it in the live letter.
I only remember one, so.
Yeah, they only talked about one, but they
Okay,
said there's
good.
gonna be 2 of them coming. They didn't talk about the
They're
big
not
one.
gonna. They're not going to play out their entire hand before the other FanFest.
Exactly.
Oh, come
'cause
on.
they'd be pissed off at us.
Come on, Battle Arena. Battle Arena.
Well, I'm hoping for something else, but and the last question that was asked is on why tanks need to have crafted accessories.
Because our deeps.
Yeah, they actually didn't seem too huge a fan of the whole My Deeps thing, pointing out that like it's useful with the tank and DPS, but the main focus of the role is on,
Tanking.
Our deeps. I don't think our tank goes into tank stance at all in Savage.
Well, as long as you can generate enough aggro,
Yeah.
some tanks can't. And they need to rely more on the regular accessories. So if they were to switch over to crafted accessories loaded up with strength, then it may not work as well for them.
Yeah, and I mean it's more of it's like, hey, this may be something you want to do, but this is the type of thing we are designing for. We are aiming it towards this. If you can make that work, I guess more power to you.
Yeah.
But we're not designing it for that.
Yep. They're trying to say that endgame raids can be cleared without having to rely on crafted accessories. If groups want to get an edge by doing it that way, that's their prerogative.
Yep. But
Nobody's
they're not going to make it something that's effectively required.
Nobody is requiring them to do that. It's just if they want to do it faster, they have to figure out the ways to do it. So, which I guess I understand that, but I understand both sides of it. But who's, if they don't have anything, that is quasi required for something like that, what are the crafters going to be able to make besides raid food and housing items and glamour gear?
Ishgard.
Yeah, Ishgard.
Well, I mean,
they're gonna make Ishgard.
I mean, before 5.0.
Well, there's nothing gonna be made for 4.5 anyway.
Yeah, that's true. More housing stuff. More glamours.
Yeah. Well, so for crafting equipment, we've got all our crafted gear, really.
All right.
We're not going to get new crafted gear 4.5.
No, crafting
Yeah.
gear. We might get some crafted gear. They'll
No,
add
it
some.
won't.
They'll add some. I mean, it's going to be more for glamours.
Oh, yeah, big glamour, but there'll be no actual stat-based gear.
No. That's usually only
We're
on
at-
the even patches.
We're at our max gear level now, really.
Is it over 9,000?
Oh god.
No, it's over 405.
Well, it is 405, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it can't be over it. And actually, it's only 400 for the armor.
400 for the armor, 405 for the weapon.
Correct. All right.
Well, I'll sell it to you all today for $19.95.
4 easy payments.
Actually, wait, how much?
4 easy payments of $19.95. But wait, there's more. We
To be
got
fair, it sounds easier than Savage, so yeah, I'll take that.
If you act now, we'll give you a producer live letter,
Ooh,
which they
gosh
talked about
darn it.
patch 4.5 part 1.
Yay.
They gave us a title. A Requiem for Heroes. That's
It's-
not
the-
ominous at all, is it?
Just going to be a birthday present for me.
No, it's
That's
Akmorn's birthday. Happy birthday!
it's always Ockmorn's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Did you see all the cards she got?
Oh my god.
Did
I
she
wrote
want to
one
kill
of those.
people?
No, she was happy about it, actually, to be honest.
Okay.
She took it with good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's just feigning the being upset on Twitter.
I mean, you have to make a little bit of a thing
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
True.
Yeah, you got to be a little. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not funny.
Yeah, that's true. Like you know, how we give you a hard time and you're like,
And really, I'm only sometimes thinking about murdering you all.
Okay, I'll take sometimes.
how
Exactly.
yandere of you.
Indeed. So that 4.5 is going to be the last major patch for the Stormblood cycle. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be getting part 1 in early January and part 2 in late March to set us up for that early summer release for Shadowbringers.
All right, I'm betting since the 1st is a Tuesday, we'll probably get it the 8th.
We
Yeah.
probably don't need to worry about exact dates right this moment. I
I'm just
certainly do
guessing.
not have my game plans that far advanced.
Well,
All I know is my birthday's the 23rd, so it's like an early birthday.
there you go.
hmm So we're going to, of course, have further MSQ developments. Our side stories are going to be giving us the Four Lords finale with Seyrr
Will
and
be. Derry.
as well as even further Hildebrand adventures.
So, are you guys excited about Seiryu?
I still haven't actually cleared Suzaku. I think I have the eye level for it. I should do that.
Yes. Suzaku is a fun fight, especially if you like DDR.
I do.
Did we mention that part 2 is late March?
Yes.
Okay. Because we were talking about the early January part, and I remember looking that up, but I don't remember if we specified late March for part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, late
Late
March.
March, a little bit after my birthday, probably.
Woo!
Woo.
Then they specified again, blue is going to be
Yeah.
added to 4.5.
Oh, no, you forgot Hildebrand.
He
I
said
mentioned
Hildebrand.
even further Hildebrand
Okay.
adventures.
So it's
yes.
at that point I'll actually probably do the Hildebrand quest from Stormblood.
Same.
Right. They did mention, of course, with Blue Mage, talk a little bit about the new job quests they'll be adding, the Blue Mage exclusive content, the Masked Carnival,
Yep.
and
they
they'll
actually-
again they go into a little bit more detail about Blue Mage later in the
Yep,
letter.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
The new dungeons is going to include one story dungeon, the Gimlet Dark.
Now I saw something on Twitter. Somebody had said that in Rogadin, it's basically they said what Gimlet actually meant.
Give me just a sec, pulling up the Rogan dictionary. If it's in that language, that is in and of itself interesting.
It's almost like it was like the dimly lit or something like that.
That'd be a stupid name then.
So Gim
Yeah.
is modest.
Modestly lit dark.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a little translation would be that, but yeah, like Gimlet is kind of a term meaning just like dark. So but the fact that it's the Rogadin word is the bit that's interesting there.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the drink.
Dark, dark, dark.
And now I want a gimlet.
Gimli?
No, not a Gimli. That'd be a little hairy.
You have my axe.
And yes, Sarah, you called the next bit. The final chapter of the Return to Ivalice raid.
Oh, yes, that's going to be at Orban Monastery. I knew it. Orban had to be involved. It was where it all began. It was where it all ended. It would have been a crime if they didn't have it at Orban.
And then it's going to be more serious in story tone. And there's going to be lots of twists.
Twists and turns.
So is it going to be a maze-like dungeon? Or is it going to be more M. Night Shyamalan? What a twist!
I'm guessing a little bit of the latter, although I hate phrasing it that way.
Yeah. What twist?
Given that we've been setting up some expectations about how it follows the Ivalice story, I'm fully expecting them to tweak that around a bit.
And then, they said there have been changes with the way that the story that they're presenting to us. Initially, they wanted Balthier to be in the story. But, so they designed his character and everything, including his gear. But they decided to change the storyline to where he's not going to be in it. But they're giving us the gear.
Yeah. The suspicion I had was that they were going to give us the gear anyways, but they wanted Balthier in there wearing it as well. But then that just didn't work out for whatever reason.
But they're bringing somebody else in his place. And
Captain Boss.
Probably Fran.
And
Captain Boss.
Yeah, I don't have any way to nicely say that it's going to be Fran.
Captain Boss.
No.
Bosch von Rossenberg. Don't believe Ondor's lies.
Don't believe Xenos' lies.
Because he's not Xenos.
Yeah.
Don't believe Elidibus's lies.
But nobody knows it's Elidibus except for us.
Exactly. That's why we have to tell people, knowing we're not going to be believed. So sad.
They showed off the mount for getting all the primal dogs.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And I am actually extremely excited to be able to get the Ninetales.
Yeah, I called it.
Yep, it's based on a kitsune.
So we get the Foxy Lady to once we have all the doggos.
Yay.
And the last one being, we'll have to get the Seiryu mount, which is going to be added in this patch as well, the Wreath of Snakes. It's a raised platform, as normal, and looks like it's got railings. And
just
what
to
happens?
be clear, because that sentence was a bit ambiguous, the Wreath of Snakes is the Seiryu fight location, not the Seiryu mount.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that phrasing was a touch ambiguous.
Okay. But yeah, so the location is called, the fight actually is called the Wreath of Snakes.
Yes.
And so we're going to be fighting him on a raised round platform with railings. And Yoshi said, what happens with railings?
They stay okay and nothing ever happens.
Exactly.
They don't stand up to OSHA standards.
Oh, but they were built by craftsmen this time. I tell you what.
OSHA would be so mad at this universe. So mad.
They told us about the new Eureka, the final Eureka location, which actually looks amazing. Hydatos.
Yeah, there's a bit of it that actually reminded me of a Bravely Default location, oddly enough.
There's a lot of water and a lot of lightning in this area. They're talking about making it almost like a public dungeon raid. So you'll have 144 people who can be in an instance, but it's going to be kind of something where we're going to work together to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that it's going to be different from their typical content, which, I mean, they say that, so we'll see how that actually shakes out.
Remember Diadem? I remember Diadem.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Remember they added the public dungeon to Diadem?
Yeah, that was actually one of the things when the battle content talk, the person who was talking, he was responsible for Diadem, but only the emergency missions bit.
Which ended up added to the maps, didn't they, those bosses?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Did
I think so.
Yeah, you can find them on the final floor of some of the treasure maps.
Yeah. So they've got PvP updates. Rival Wings is getting a new battleground, the Hidden Gorge. The appearance suggests that somewhere in the Thanalan region,
Sure looks like it.
especially the train tracks crossing the battlefield. So much like the first Rival Wings had the goblin vehicles, the various mechs, the train tracks suggest that railway vehicles may be an important part of the strategy this time around.
There is a gobby train that if you get hit by it, it will kill you.
Right.
Or it will knock you out, excuse me.
But there may be other shenanigans going on with those
Doom
railways
train.
as well.
We'll
Doom
see.
train.
We'll see.
They talked a bit about the Gold Saucer update that we mentioned earlier. One of the new gates that they talked about is Air Force One, based on the Air Force mob from Final Fantasy VI, the one that appeared in 07.
Yeah.
That one,
Which is the amount you get for being Kefka.
Yep, it is that same mount.
Yep. It seems somewhat reminiscent of the Speed Square from Final Fantasy VII, where you are on roller coaster tracks shooting at targets.
Yep, that's basically what it is, except they themed it more around our universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's nice that they put the Air Force mob in there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's such a cute design. I like it.
Yep. And then they also hinted at a new large-scale content, which is coming
By
in
the way,
next
before
live
we
letter.
switch, I do kind of hope that they add the animation to the mount.
Which animation?
The face?
No, because I'm guessing there's like gonna be like little fake lasers shoot out in the Speedster. I kind of hope that the mount gets like a little animation where we can shoot the lasers.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I mean, they do add stuff like that in, to mounts, after the fact. So, I mean,
we did have that quest where we get to upgrade our Magitech armor mount.
Yeah.
Yep. So I would, put it in the official forms if it's something you really want.
Yeah.
That's really the best place
That's if they
to do
get
it.
something like that. Just add the animation to the old mount.
But I mean, just put in the comment that like, hey, this is something that would be really fun.
Yep. And then there's also going to be
figure out whether it works.
There's also going to be new prizes added. But before we do move on, I actually want to ask real quick, what are you guys hoping for the new large scale content? And I'll tell you what I want after you guys go.
So something from the Gold Saucer. I mean, if large scale, so we're talking about something where you have a lot of people participating at once. I hadn't even actually thought about this very much.
Snowboarding.
Oh man, the classic snowboard game.
That seems more like a mini game type of thing. Or, like something you would add to one of the little machines.
Maybe. I'm just not coming up with anything right now.
For me, I hope it's Blitzball. Seriously.
Oh, people have been asking about that for a while. That would be a fun one.
And it's something that they've said they want to put in the game.
Yeah, I'd be down.
So my suspicion is it's going to be Blitzball.
Open world. Everyone wants open world PvP. Open world Vermilion.
Oh, God.
That would be hilarious. Or we send our minions out and we're actually, that'd be kind of funny.
I mean, I would support something that was like Airship Ventures only with my minions. I can't see that at the Gold Saucer, though.
Yeah.
But I guess unless it was built onto Vermilion. Oh, wow. You've got me thinking about this now. I hate you.
I mean, they could also add the mini game for the motorcycle chase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the motorcycle is in the game now, so.
Exactly. That's what Davey-san was saying in the chat. So definitely that's something they could put into. But like I said, for a large-scale thing, I really want to see Blitzball. 6v6. Something where you're not actually like just basically a glorified coach, but where you can actually play with other players and you have to work as a team to score goals. I think that could be fun.
Let's see. Some other updates. They talked about a new custom deliveries client.
That'll be nice.
No hints on who that is yet, though.
Are we going to be able to glamour them right away?
I feel so weird about that. Why does everything have to be objectified for our amusement?
And when do we get to glamour Nago?
She is fine as a tough as nails resistant soldier.
She needs to be glamored she needs to be glamored into the Shisui outfit.
Can we not strip someone we run across, please? Can we not be the pervert of light? Just one?
Okay, she needs to be glamored into the pig suit.
Can we not be the creepy pervert of light?
Well, what do you want to be, okay? Those are your choices.
Oh. We are technically the heroes somehow. We are technically the heroes somehow.
We're the good guys.
Oh dear.
If I keep telling myself that enough, maybe it'll be true.
Baby, thank you so much for those bits. Greatly
Thank you for
appreciate
the
that.
bit.
They did talk a little bit more about the world visit system that they'd alluded to.
Yes.
Starting from any of the 3 main city-states, you can, from their main etherite, you'll be able to transfer to a server on the same data center. There's no time limit on that. You will stay on the destination server until you choose to return, even persisting through logout.
Yeah, see, I was amazed by that.
I was a little surprised too. I figured they'd have that as a restriction.
Yeah, or when you log out, you automatically get moved back to your home server.
Yeah, so definitely a bit surprised for that.
Yeah.
They did mention some restrictions, which of course something like this, since it's not a full-on world transfer, you can't have. So you will not be able to access your retainers or sell items on the market board of the world you're visiting.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to purchase housing, but you will not be restricted from visiting the houses of others.
But the question that I thought of that they didn't answer, being you're going to be able to stay on these servers for however long you want, is this going to affect demolition timers? Are you going to have to go back before 45 days or up to go visit your house?
Because otherwise that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're staying on your regular server, you still have to visit your house every so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how many people are going to forget about that?
Well, I mean, people forget about that now, which is why they send those reminders out periodically of hey, your house is getting near that.
Provided they work.
Yeah, this is a thing that's already a known quantity. I can't imagine that the visit system's going to change it.
Like I said, it was just something that wasn't addressed. I figured I wanted to at least talk about it.
Fair enough. Most of your free company features will not be accessible while you're off-world, but you will still have access to your free company chat, as well as any cross-world link shells that you belong to.
Yep. But no regular link shells.
Right. You cannot attend or schedule eternal bonding ceremonies on other worlds, though they did say they are working on a fix for that. That is something they want you to be able to do. It's just not available yet.
Yes, because there's a lot of people who want that. I mean, I know of some people like Ruby from on the Excalibur server from Gather Together. They're actually going to wait until they fix this so we can all go to his wedding.
Yeah.
Yay.
Lots of people who want to bring their friends to those events. So it's, as I said, it's not something that's like, oh, this is for balance reasons. This is just the technical limitations are there right now, but we're working on it. What else was there? You won't be able to get access to your Moogle mail, and a couple other restrictions, mostly related to double dipping on limited resources, not being able to gather unspoiled or legendary gathering points, purchasing jumbo jackpot tickets, or participating in Lords of Verminion or Triple Triad tournaments.
Yeah. Wait, I can't do Lords of Verminion? Oh my god!
You don't do it anyway.
Not the Lords of Verminion tournament. You can play regular Lords of Verminion to your heart's content.
Yay!
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay. Some of it I understand, not buying the jumbo jackpot. But, I'm still not quite sold on the unspoiled in Legendary Gathering nodes. You would have to be moving really fast in order to get more than one set.
If you have stuff prepared for it, especially if there's a single node you're focusing on, especially if you're talking about some of the older ones like the Darksteel or things like that, I could imagine hitting like 3 or 4 of those in the time limit. They're up for 3 in-game hours, so you're talking like a good 8 minutes.
2 in-game hours.
No, the old ones are 3.
I thought they were only 2, because then the Heavensward ones were 1 hour.
Nope, it went from 3 to 1.
Okay.
I gathered a lot of Darksteel.
Okay, because I know
when that node pops.
And I know the Stormblood ones are back to 2.
Right.
So I thought that for some reason I was thinking that they were 2 hours in ARR.
Nope. But so yeah, some restrictions to prevent people from being able to cheese those too much. What else was there? Oh,
Those are the
So that
only
was also-
restrictions. So, I mean,
Right.
it's nice that they're leaving it pretty open for us, really.
Yeah. They want people to be able to jump around, hang out with each other, do all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, this is really the first step towards mega servers.
Yeah.
But in order
Which-
for them to be able to do this, they had to make the major changes that they talked about more next, and that was adding on new data centers.
Yeah, I think they don't ever want to have a repeat of Raubon Extreme.
Yeah.
So they are going to be adding a new data center for each region. The North American data center will be Crystal. The European data center will be Light. As part of that, they are going to be redistributing the worlds. Since Europe just had one, the two are the servers are going to be split between the two, and they'll be adding a couple new ones. Ether and Primal will each be having some of their servers redistributed to Crystal.
Yep.
It pretty much was a Balmung and a bunch of low-populated servers are going to Crystal.
Yep. That's basically it.
Pretty much. I think they even name-checked Balmung in the process of this.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
can you blame them?
Yeah, they are going to be scheduling that over a 2-week period. The World Transfer Service will be free during that time, and they are planning to add some benefits to people who do choose to make those transfers. I think they recognize just how much important housing is to driving a lot of these decisions. And it seems like they also recognize that, yes, this is something that's difficult. This needed to happen for technical reasons, so someone was going to have to lose out. So it seems like they're trying to do their best to mitigate it.
Yep.
The normal maximum gil restrictions for server transfers are going to be alleviated, so you can carry up to 1 billion gil with you. Those who have houses or apartments, they will have a reimbursement of the full purchase price, rather than the usual percentages for transfers and the like.
And it's what you paid for it, not the lowest price possible. It's what you paid for it.
Specifically the purchase price. And then in the case of houses, 3 million gil. In the case of apartments, 500,000 gil to account for furnishings that are lost.
Correct.
So yeah, they made several comments indicating that, they know this was something people were nervous about, unhappy about. This is not something they would have wanted to do either, but technical requirements, must needs, yada, yada, yada.
I will say I had a good laugh at some of the names that they left on Chaos and Light. The fact that Louisoix is staying on Chaos and Odin is moving to Light. Along with Zodiark.
Yeah, one could try to read a lot into that.
Yeah. Well, they need the darkness to balance the light, and they need the light to balance the chaos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's how any of this works.
It does in my head now.
That's our headcanon.
Oh my god, I'm the only one who's allowed to have ridiculous headcanon. Speaking of which, I updated so many headcanons, I should tell you.
Grim in the chat is saying that they disagree with splitting Balmung and Gilgamesh. They had to.
Like, they're too high population.
That's exactly
trying to
the
keep
reason.
Them together.
Yep.
It's going to help with stopping the crashes when the expansion comes out.
Yes, I mean they did some research and they used the unofficial census results that have been posted out on the different sites like Reddit and the like, and using that information, they basically created a perfect balance between all 3 data centers. They're all going to be right around the same population. So, I mean, it works out perfectly. They knew what they were doing on this. They know what... SE knows what the population is. I don't think they even
necessarily needed to use the unofficial ones.
No, they had the official. They know what the populations are, but it's just saying that the unofficials are actually pretty damn accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They did talk a little bit more about Blue Mage.
They talked a lot about Blue Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, of course, the classic job that learns abilities from enemies and wields them against foes as blue magic. They did note that specifically spells will be learned in combat or as quest rewards or other means, but it's not something that will be gained by level. So it is possible to reach the cap as a blue mage without having gotten any blue magic. Don't recommend that you do it, but you could if
I want to just talk real quick. I want to go back to the
Sure.
whole data center stuff because there's
Sure.
still some more discussion within the chat.
All right.
The fact people are upset because people are going to be losing contact with friends that are moving to a different data center. The good part about this, I don't know if we mentioned it, during the 2 weeks that this is all going to be happening, there will be free data. There will be free transfers. It's not they're lifting the restrictions, but they're actually going to be free for that time frame.
Also, remember that you will also be able to go back.
Yeah.
If you want to.
To a degree.
Yeah. So basically, what you can do, you can move a character to another server on that data center. It doesn't even have to be Balmung. It doesn't have to be Gilgamesh. It doesn't have to be Hyperion or whatever server you happen to want to be on. As long as you have somebody on that data center, you can go visit whoever you want on that data center whenever you want.
I think it is going to be a little more difficult. Some of the stuff where they are, where things are being split into new data centers.
I think we may end up seeing some restrictions where they're going to close off access to Gilgamesh and Balmung, though.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Basically the only way you'll be guaranteed to be able to go there is if you have a character that's actually on that server.
Well, they've said the fact that if it's already got closed for new characters, you can't transfer. If it's congested world, you can't transfer.
They generally leave that for the paid transfers.
No, I'm talking about the world transfer when you use the crystal.
Oh yes, that yeah. So yeah, if you cannot create a character there, you wouldn't be able to move a character there temporarily.
They're going to have it as you're sitting in line for it.
You could pay to transfer permanently, but and you would have access to any of the others.
Certain ones.
Yeah. That's basically the only way people were able to get onto Balmung when it was closed was paying to transfer.
Yeah.
I don't think it got so bad where they actually closed off the transfers, though.
They did.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. You couldn't pay to transfer to Balmung.
No, I thought that was always open.
No?
Oh wait, that's right. They did close it off for a period, but they then lifted it.
Yeah, that's just the standard congested world stuff. It sounds like.
Yeah, but it was actually even more so than just the standard congested worlds. Like, because I remember Hyperion has had times when you couldn't actually create a character on it, but you could transfer to it.
Right.
I'm so happy that during my wedding, Ultras became a congested world.
But yeah, so that's a little bit more on that. Okay, so let's go back to Blue Mage.
So back to Blue Mage. So it's not going to have any kind of base class to it. Starts at level 1, and in 4.5, it's going to cap at level 50. They'll be raising that cap as the patches go on, but early on, it's not going to have the same cap as the rest of the.
Do you think we're going to see an increase at 4.55, or it'll wait till 5.0?
5.0.
I am not even going to try to guess at this point.
Just figured I'd ask.
I know.
I'm calling 5.0. No, 5.1 will be raised to 60 because they want people to try the new content, the new jobs.
Yeah.
And then 5.1 will be 60, and then 5.3 will be 70, and then the end of 5.5 will be to 80. I'm talking like 5.55.
I don't think they'll wait that long. I bet we get 5.5.
No, they want to make sure that the content is completely irrelevant.
You don't think that they'll be ready for that in 2 years?
Not that the fact that they won't be ready, just because they won't want people to be doing the Savage.
Well, I still don't think they're going to actually allow people to pug in that. In order to utilize Blue, you're going to have to be in a pre-made.
Everything they said about it, I'm pretty sure they don't intend it to be used for raiding.
That's what I said. That's why I don't expect it to be eligible for 80 until 5.55.
Like I said, I think they'll be able to. This is my guess. This is just totally my speculation on this, but I think that they will allow it by 5.5. But like I said, in order to do it, you're going to have to be in a pre-made. You will not be able to raid find it. And maybe the only thing that'll be locked off is the last tier. Because that will still be in the high-end duty finder, where everything else is in the regular duty finder. Or I should say the raid finder. That will be closed off, but duty finder, as long as you're in a pre-made, will be open.
Yeah.
Just my guess.
So, yeah. So, anyways, it is going to be have the new job quests available when it's released, so you'll be able to get going on that right away. In terms of gear and role actions, it's going to be a ranged magic DPS. So you're looking at your whatevers of casting in case you want to start stockpiling those now.
Yep.
So go do your coils.
You'll to unlock it, you'll need to have the 2.0 MSQ complete, so you'll need to finish the Praetorium and at least one level 50 Disciple of War or Disciple of Magic job. Pretty standard requirements on that front.
Yep. And as long as you have the base game, you can unlock it.
Yeah, no expansions required for this. It is something that they described as a new class of job called a limited job, designed for solo play, not suited for parties. You will be able to learn abilities in parties if you want, and I expect to see parties of blue mages working together to learn spells, much like you had in FF11. But there will also be a special content, the Masked Carnival, only accessible by solo blue mages.
At level 50.
Yep. They did mention that a couple types of duties will be specifically unavailable.
Again, before we move on, Seyrr, one thing that they had also mentioned in this part when they're describing what limited jobs are, they had also brought up the fact that this kind of opens up the door to other types of content or other types of jobs.
That's actually something I do want to cover in more detail, but give me a moment on that.
Okay.
Because this is something I think is a really intriguing possibility,
Okay,
and I do want to give it its due.
All right, so we want to wait on that a little bit?
Yeah, give me a moment because I actually want to talk a bit about that. I think it's really interesting. I just want to make sure to give it the proper attention.
Okay, then go ahead.
Sure. So the inaccessible duties are going to be anything that requires matchmaking. So anything you queue up for in the duty finder, including duty roulette, as well as PvP and deep dungeon. If you form go with a fully preformed party, you can enter some content that way. But anything where matchmaking is happening, and some of that specific content, pretty much you are not going to be partied up with a blue unless you're explicitly choosing to do so, and it's in content that's not going to unbalance it.
Yeah. I wish you could enter into deep dungeon in that fashion.
Yeah.
The fact that they're locking it off completely kind of is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's, which again they talked about a little bit when talking about the entire limited job concept, but this is something that for a lot of reasons is really, really tricky. And so I think they are being very cautious about it. It's possible they might change their stance on some of this in future, but...
I mean, I guess the only thing I can see with it is Deep Dungeon goes up to, is it 50 or 60?
200.
No, level.
60.
Well, I mean, Deep Dungeon also includes Heaven on High, don't forget.
Yeah, well, I'm talking just Palace at this point, and you cap out at 60 on that, correct?
Yeah.
So I can understand not being able to bring it in yet, because it only goes to 50.
Unless they cap you, like if you got the free trial, you can only go so far in Palace of the Dead.
Like level 50
20,
or something?
I think.
20, I think.
Yeah, but... so I suppose without having to put that restriction on your character that way, which could cause some other potential problems, I can see why they would do that. You know, maybe once they open the cap up to 60, we'll be able to go into Deep Dungeon, or at least Palace of the Dead.
Palace.
Right. So they did note that because you don't have access to a lot of the traditional leveling methods like dungeons, one of the big ways to progress is going to be fighting enemies in the overworld, and that blue mages will specifically get increased experience points when they do that.
I like
Fake
that.
grinds, woo!
Well, I like the fact that they're actually making the overworld relevant for something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like I said, a lot of people disagree with it, this aspect of it, but I can see why they're doing it, and I appreciate it for the fact that it's going to make a lot of these zones, you know, come alive again. I mean, you go into Gridania, and let's say you're looking for your B rank for the week. Let's say you got White Joker. So you're running around Central Gridania, and there's nobody
Central
there.
Shroud.
Yeah, Central Shroud. There's nobody there. I mean, there's literally nobody there. So now...
They went to North Vanderland for Fake Grind. Remember that? I remember that.
Oh, God, I spent so much time there. DD is up.
Yeah, DD is up.
So let's see.
Anyway.
They mentioned a bit about the Masked Carnival again, that again, you must be a level 50 Blue Mage. It's a solo activity. And it's going to be one where you have to try to exploit weaknesses, imply that
Eureka.
elemental weaknesses are a big one, but there may be other weaknesses. And it's going to be something where there are going to be ideal spells for the various enemies that you face.
Yeah.
But cleverness might be able to get you to soldier through even if you don't have the ideal spell for it.
Yep. And they said that there's going to be 25 different levels of fights you can go through. Each one of them is a 3 mob fight. Or you fight one mob after one mob after one mob.
Yeah.
So it sounds kind of interesting. Or, each one is probably going to be a little bit more difficult because everything starts at level 50.
Right.
Yeah.
In order to, I think, progress through the top level, you're going to want to have all 49 of the available traits and actions available to you.
Or be really, really good at Blue Mage.
Yeah.
There's
Also,
that achievement for getting through to the bottom of Palace of the Dead as a solo, and that's happened.
By the way, I call the fact that we'll probably start with White Wind and at least a couple other spells when we get the job.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
You'll always. What else would you attack stuff with if you don't start with something?
Well, you're not. I don't think you're going to get an enemy action.
I think we'll get 3 different basic abilities.
Abilities, yes, but I don't think there'll be enemy actions they're not going to be included with the 49 that we have to catch. I think we're actually going to have to find 49 different mobs in order to fill up
and
our
we know
book.
one of them is in Tamtara.
It's true.
Yep, they specified a few of the different ones.
Yeah, they did show off a couple of the abilities, including iconic ones like 1,000 Needles and Bad Breath, as well as Mighty Guard and Aqualung, as well as a couple of one of the other traditions of blue magic is, of course, extremely powerful spells from various bosses. In this case, we've got primal type ones, such as Shiva's Bow Move or Ifrit's Eruption. One of the things they mentioned is that for some of them, you might need to try to find the correct version of that monster.
By the way, I swear I saw the question spell.
Possibly.
Because she was stunned afterwards. I swear I saw that hit her.
Was she actually stunned, or was it just showing the little dizzy animation?
Well, I saw it actually drop a weight on her.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
weight
the question.
Yeah, there was a weight that dropped. It had the little stars circling, but that doesn't necessarily mean she actually had that status effect.
No, but
That
that weight is normally like the question blue spell.
Yep. There's probably going to be a lot of the classic Blue Mage spells.
Yeah.
It's going to be the you have to witness a spell, not necessarily. They didn't necessarily say have it used on you, which is how I suppose stuff like Mighty Guard would work. But after you witness a spell being used and defeat the enemy, there is a chance to learn the spell.
Rare chance.
Yes. They specifically said you will rarely learn a new spell. So it's going to be you're not going to automatically get it. You're going to have to farm for it. I just hope it's not quite as bad as 11's Blue Mage was.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, this was designed by Mr. Atma.
He said that drop rate was Yoshi's fault. Yeah, when they were talking about it during the battle content thing, and they mentioned that he was the Atma thing, myself and a couple of the people from the Crucible were the ones who started leading the booze.
Well, I can't blame you. That was a harsh fight. I mean, how long did we actually spend farming for those damn things?
I have all of them. I don't know if I hate myself or him more.
Well, I didn't go that far, but I mean, I'm just talking about when they originally came out, before they were buffed at all. Many years ago.
No, I was an idiot, and I spent 4 hours in the wrong area.
Ooh.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to Costa. I'll go to the one there. And everybody's like, there's not one there. I'm like,
damn it.
This is why you look at your journal.
Yes. All right. Moving on.
So yes, it is going to be something where it consumes MP, and more powerful spells require more MP. So a bit of your kind of standard mage job in that respect. There are going to be, at release, they're going to have 49 different actions that you'll be able to get. Though you can equip up to 24 of them at a time.
Yes. So we're going to have other actions that we get that are not going to be enemy action based. So there's going to be other things that we can do, Chille. That's my guess. It's not going to be.
They mentioned stuff that you can learn from quests or other things like that.
Yeah.
So it's not going to.
I do think we'll get some monster actions at the start. I'm not saying we'll get anything big, but I think we'll get maybe one or two just to give people a taste of it before they can. Before they have to.
We might get just some sort of cure spell. Like physic.
No, we'll probably get I'm guessing White Wind. I'm really it's called White Wind as basic healing. Because
we'll have to see. I can see that being a healing spell, but that can get rather powerful. The higher level it was. At least in other jobs.
So they did. You will have a spell book of the learned actions, so there will be that way to keep track of it.
It's a Pokédex because you gotta catch them all. Come on, how much does this seem like a Pokemon thing?
Not.
I wanna be the very best. Like no one, Lala ever was.
They did talk
Okay, Chille.
So anyway, to end it out, they talked a little bit about the design process and this concept of limited jobs. They recognize that some people, for instance, want to be able to bring it along to all the high-level raids to use it in endgame content. But one of the things they talked about is, since they're trying to do this stuff that's like bringing back all the various Final Fantasy things, this kind of theme park version of it, you've got some classic jobs that people really love. They're kind of these iconic things, but that
Beastmaster.
That is actually another one that I think came up.
Yep, Beast Tamer and Puppet Master were specifically mentioned.
Yep,
and I was amazed by that.
Yeah, there have been people who've been asking about it, and they say we know people like these. They don't lend themselves well to the MMO format. One of the things I'd always wondered about with Blue Mage, if you're getting a lot of the iconic stuff in there, you've got attack abilities, you've got stuff like Mighty Guard, and White Wind. So it's okay, is it a healer? Do you leave these things out? Do you give it these spells, but they're not very powerful? White Wind was a party saver in so many games. So it's either something where it's not really suitable for the balance of an MMO, or you're not really being true to the spirit of the job, which was the entire reason people wanted it in the first place.
Also, remember, because of this, they've renamed the tank limit break.
Oh, yes, because the level 2 one was originally called Mighty Guard, but given that Mighty Guard is the iconic Blue Mage spell, I forget what they're calling it now.
I can't remember it. But
Not Mighty
reaction
Guard.
was funny.
Yeah. But so this limited job concept is an attempt to bring in these normally unbalanced jobs in a way that's not going to break the game because they're more designed for and restricted towards solo play.
Yeah.
But it still lets you be this faithful reproduction that really captures the spirit of the job, that captures why people liked it and cared about it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had brought in Red Mage in this fashion, to be honest with you.
Red Mage I am pretty happy with, but I can see how, if you... the trade-off there, of course, would be that you don't get to bring Red Mage to all that various endgame content.
Yeah, and I don't think that they wanted to do that to Red Mage. They figured that was such an iconic job. More so than Blue Mage even, because it was one of the original jobs in Final Fantasy, that they wanted to make sure that was one that people could play in any way they wanted. So they had to figure out a way to fit it into the Trinity setup, of tank, healer, DPS. So I understand why they did it. They created something that is similar but not quite. It's an homage job, and I understand that. But like I said, it's not what a lot of people were expecting. And honestly, I kind of thought they were going to do something similar with Blue Mage and find a way to actually bring it into the Trinity more so, where you could bring it into all the different content instead of having something that is kind of quasi broken in a lot of content.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to do it and just couldn't make it work.
Yep. So then instead of saying, no, we're not doing this, they came up with the idea, and they probably looked at it that they think that a lot of people play this game solo anyway. You know, they party up with people because they have to, but they maybe don't necessarily, look to do that on a regular basis. They would prefer to get through the game on their own.
Sometimes it's fun just to do solo stuff. Like today,
It is.
I decided to try doing T5 with my new gear as monk.
Nice.
And I beat Twin Tanya as monk.
Cool. So,
anyway, sometimes you just want a short little break from stuff.
But I think what they're going with now is that they're and with adding the trusts and the squadrons, they're allowing people the full option of playing this as a solo game, including adding in Blue Mage and things like that. They're giving more solo content to people who may not want to be a part of the massively multiplayer aspect of an MMO.
Yeah. Honestly, I liked Puppet Master, so if they can bring that in, I will be quite pleased.
If Beastmaster comes in and Courier Crab is not one of the best pets, I will
Courier
Carry.
Yeah,
Courier Carry.
It has to be like one of the best pets we can get.
So does that mean then we're gonna get a Wyvern for Dragoons?
That'd be cool.
A Dragoon friend of mine, she played Dragoon in 11, was disappointed that she didn't get the Wyvern, so she has a pudgy puck out all the time. And that is her Wyvern, who got fat.
Well, or she could just bring out MIDI.
Well, maybe, but she went with the pudgy puck, and now that is Fat Hien, and that's how this works.
That's cute too.
That's cooler though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they talked. Then they just gave some quick announcements talking about the upcoming FanFests in Paris and Tokyo. And then some stuff for sale. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Encyclopedias, the Blu-rays, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Paris is February 2nd to 3rd.
And they did show off that the vegetarian is now in-game. I mean, I know I'm a little bit of a stick in the mud. Part of me still like, oh my gosh, why are we still using Lala Fells for cheap laughs?
Because we can.
I'm still reasonably impressed with it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Does that mean I can be a limited job of a mascot?
Oh
you
my god,
are
if they brought in Final Fantasy X-2's mascot, make it happen.
Well, he can already dress like one.
Yeah.
But then how will you fire the Moogle beam? Oh man, I shouted fire the Moogle beam pretty much every time I used that ability.
Good times.
All right. So we've been talking about this for over 2 hours now. So I think, Seyrr, we're going to go ahead and skip the Librarian's Corner. I know you wanted to talk all about the 80 Sins of Sasamo.
Which, I mean, partly it's I was traveling for the last week and a half, so I didn't have anything written up. Partly, I just haven't done story time in a while. It's a fun story to read. I'll do that next time.
Yep.
It's really randomly placed, isn't it?
Well, they had a couple things as like end of chapter things. Here's some bonus stuff. There is also one where Seigetsu the Enlightened provided reviews of some of his favorite tomes of knowledge.
Also, I'm still waiting to get my lore book, so I want to be able to read along with you. So,
all right.
Hopefully in 2 weeks I'll have it, and then
next time story time with Seyrr.
And then Chille will get his Matoya hat from me.
Yay!
Oh, you know what we didn't do? For the people who are still watching, I had Chille pick up another minion for me. I sent Chille some money so he can get me the bike and the minion, and I had him pick up a second minion. And I wanted to give that away tonight for those of you who are watching us live here at twitch.tv/PhoenixDownRadio.
Ooh.
So, if you guys are interested in a Tifa minion, give me just 2 seconds here.
1,000, 2 1,000.
Blah, blah, blah. Change the prize to Tifa minion. And
that joke
open the
never
giveaway.
gets old.
Go ahead and type !pick me if you want that a code for a Tifa minion. We'll have this open through the end of the show, and we'll pick somebody before we close up. So, anything else you guys wanted to talk about FanFest related?
Just like they really picked up a lot of the good stuff of how to do it. Again, like I was just impressed from the get-go when I got it. It's like they're using actual crowd management techniques. I don't know who these people are, but they're doing a good job of it. Like the lines, there were long lines, but the lines moved.
Yeah, I remember it didn't seem like things were moving for a very long time at the Paris, especially that the merch line.
Yeah, I mean the Rio, the first year as well, there were long lines that took a while to move. Like a long line isn't as bad if you're moving a lot, and we were moving plenty. So yeah, they just did a really amazing job all around. Had lots of fun.
Sorry, Necromancer, Seyrr is not eligible here, and he already has one. So.
Oh my gosh, why are you doing this to me? I'm going to throttle you. We had such a nice Thanksgiving, and you have to do this, Funk.
Of course, of course. And he just laughs.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. How about you, Chille? Any last thoughts on FanFest?
I enjoyed meeting all the people. That was the best part. I got to say hello to a load of people.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
I went to the unofficial FanFest with that Hersham version. Roland Berry was hosting as well.
Oh,
I
at
traveled
the
over there. The Baileys, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bally's.
Yeah.
I was going to mention it in the shoutouts, but yes, Hersham First. Thank you for the chocolate. That was really sweet. Hersham First was giving out chocolates and being all around awesome and pleasant. And it was a nice little break from things. Also, I got to hang out with so many lore mongers. And it turns out that pretty much all of this game's lore mongers are totally adorable.
Yeah. I have to say, though, Seyrr, I was slightly disappointed that I didn't see you talking with Ethis and Anonymous during the live stream.
Oh, I talked with Anonymous like all the fucking time.
On the actual stream.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was those two with Emmy and Remix.
Oh, during the LBR stuff?
Yes.
I was hanging out in the side rooms sharing stories and eating the way too many chicken wings that Broham had ordered.
I know.
Wait, there was chicken wings.
Or buffalo wings. Which are chicken wings, but with buffalo sauce.
I didn't even know there was food at the LBR thing.
You had to order it yourself.
Yeah. And what happened was he ordered a thing of wings, and it was like $18 and more than he could eat. And he's like, he was going to be annoyed if they went uneaten. So we just kept inviting people in to come and join us and hang out.
Nice.
I know there was the stream stuff going on. I tried to ask about getting on, but it didn't end up happening.
Cookie was a very busy person.
Yeah. The place was just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, it kind of seemed that way.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job, considering, especially Cookie, considering how bad it got.
Yeah.
I mean, I was supposed to be streaming the Street Fighter 5 thing at the same time, but the stream wasn't working, so they ended up putting in the corner somewhere. So.
Yeah. If they actually if they do this again next time, if they block out some time for us to be on it, I think they'd do it. But if it's just a random drop in, I don't think it's going to end up happening just because of how crazy busy everything was.
This was their final thing, unless they do it unless they were to do it as checkpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if someone else ends up putting together an event like this.
Fusion.
I think.
Well, we'll see. But like I said,
besides, I had to talk with Moose about the tax implications of being an independent contractor
for Square Enix.
Exactly.
All right.
Seriously, we were talking about taxes. I felt like I don't know what I felt like. It was a thing.
All right. So if that's gonna go ahead and do it for that, I think that'll then do it for this episode. If you guys liked what you heard, please make sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or whatever your preferred podcatcher is. And if it's possible, leave us a rating or review. Like I said, we say this all the time, but it really does help people find us, and it lets us know that you guys really enjoy the show. If you really dig this show, you could consider subscribing here at Twitch, at twitch.tv/PhoenixDownRadio, or if you wanted to be support us on Patreon, you can go out to patreon.com/PhoenixDownRadio and support us there like the amazing Aurori Fenrir. All proceeds that we get from that go towards growing the show, covering things like hosting costs, and allows us to do some of these fun things like these giveaways and things like that. But whatever type of support you give us, whether it's likes, retweets, follows, subs, or whatever, it's always greatly appreciated. We really love interacting with you guys and the rest of the community.
Did we read Hirsch and Versh's review?
I think we did, yes. That was back in June that they'd left it. I think I read it in July. I think that was the last one.
Let me check.
Oh my gosh, it's been 4 months?
Yeah.
More people.
We need some reviews, people, please. We've been stuck on 17 ratings for a while.
I was thinking, let me check UK iTunes.
You think there might be some that are hiding over there?
Because the different reviews.
Yeah, you mentioned something that you got some weird things like for your the Unchained stuff.
Okay, global Great Britain hasn't got any reviews on Phoenix Down yet, or any ratings.
Come on, people over in Great Britain, UK, leave us some ratings and reviews, please.
Yeah, if you go to iTunes, and it normally goes to itunes.com/US/podcast, but if you change it to GB, it then switches over Great Britain.
So I mean,
consider moving to Great Britain so that you can leave reviews for us there too.
Or you can just leave them there anyway. All right. You can find all of our podcasts and our backlog, including Moogle Go Round episodes, at PhoenixDownRadio.com. If you have any questions you want to ask us, ideas for lore segments, or you just want to shoot the shit with us at all, you can email us podcast@PhoenixDownRadio.com. You follow us out on Twitter, where we have a lot of interesting things like pictures of Chille's wedding at PHXDN Radio. And you can also join us out on Facebook at facebook.com/PhoenixDownRadio. So, that time for shoutouts, guys. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and close the giveaway, and we'll pick a winner.
All right. So I'll go ahead and, as I said I was going to, shouting out Hurston first. Oh my gosh, you came and you gave us chocolates and you didn't even have a ticket for stuff and you still came, and that was really sweet. And oh my god, I needed chocolates so much that night, you have no idea. So that was really kind of you.
I helped pack those.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for chocolate too, Chille.
No problem.
Because
Because when I went over there, Hirsch was doing them at the event, so we decided to help her by making a production line. So me, Susan Sprinkles, and Arvi were me and Susan were putting them in little bags, and then Arvi was tying them up, and then Hirsch was writing notes.
Mm-hmm. So adorable.
So we were sat there with our little production. She even streamed some of it. Can you see us in our little production line on her Twitch?
Oh, okay. The streaming it is like the icing on the cake. That's amazing.
That's pretty cute. Also, congratulations to Grimhelm. You have won a Tifa minion. Just speak up, and then we'll get you that code.
Awesome. Shout out to all the various awesome people I met. Anonymous and Rockle, Brohamad, Flatus, Shinkir, Yelta. I am totally forgetting people. There were more people. There were so many people. I kind of want to just go around and hang out with you people. Let's not even bother with FanFest. Let's just hang out. I'll make hot pot or something. Well, can that be a thing?
Should we make a Phoenix Down Radio Fest?
I mean,
we'll have it at Seyrr's house.
Does this count as a business expense? Can I write it off?
No.
Damn.
I wish. Okay. I wish we could. 2025, yes. Maybe.
Shout outs to all the wonderful people. Shout out to my friend Spender, who took pretty much the entire drive to Vegas. Remained in gentle good cheer even when we could not actually open the windows until we got past Bakersfield.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be tough. Hopefully you had good AC.
Yeah. We also picked up some particulate respirators while we were in Vegas because the stores there were not completely sold out. We had rain the last few days. Air quality in the Bay Area is back to will not murder you levels, so that's a bit better.
And then how can they find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at FFXIVSEYRR. FF14 Seyrr. Random thoughts, interesting things that I cooked, weird stuff that I found at the library.
He finds lots of weird stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have so many things. It's amazing. But yeah. You can also I do monitor our Discord quite frequently, as well as the lore forums on several other Discords. If you have an interesting question, I will totally drop what I am doing to answer it. It's fun. Come talk to us. I like talking. I talk too much. It's great.
All right. Thank you. Now stop talking.
Okay.
Chille.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
It's your turn.
I want to shout to every wonderful person. I would name everyone, but I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people at FanFest. So if you saw me with my poop hat and my Moogle Go Round t-shirt, I want to say thank you for stopping to say hello. I even had to sign for someone, so that was nice.
If you have a picture with him, you should post it out on Twitter and tag Chille in it.
Yeah. Also, it was good to see you again, Seyrr, and it was just nice to meet everyone. It was good to see Riss again and Sayo, Skage. Nice to meet Kane and Arvi and Animus.
Brunch. Brunch was so great.
It was just nice meeting everyone at FanFest. That's the whole point. Good part of FanFest is the community. So thank you to everyone I met. You can find me at MGR_Chille on Twitter, or ben.shabihal at psu.com if you want to email me directly.
Excellent.
Oh, and I just remembered because you mentioned it. I did not catch your name, person in the elevator who recognized my voice from the podcast. But hi, thank you for really making my evening by recognizing my voice.
Also, I am not on the Crucible. To the person that came up to me and asked, "Are you that guy from the Crucible?"
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'd bring you on as like a consulting something or another. Crucible's good people.
Oh, they are good people.
I mean, they're also the terrible people who write the trashiest rag this side of Ul'dah, but also
there's going to be something they're going to announce later that's going to be funny.
Indeed.
What, they're actually moving to Ishgard?
I said funny.
That would be hilarious.
No, that's horrible.
Watching Seyrr just have to deal with all of that day in and day out. I think they should move their corporate offices to Ishgard.
No.
Because of tax reasons. Anyway, I want to shout you guys out. Thank you so much for joining me, Chille and Seyrr. I'm glad you guys had a wonderful time out there. I missed not being able to be out there with all of you guys, but like I said, it looks like you had a good time, and thank you so much for bringing back so much wonderful information and sharing that with everybody.
I got to spend time with catgirl strippers.
Yeah, you did.
And Chippendale. You know, I balanced it out.
Shout out to everybody listening to us live here at twitch.tv/PhoenixDown Radio. We really do appreciate you stopping out and interacting with us in the chat. And for those of you who listen on the podcast, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it as well. But if you want to join in on the shenanigans, consider stopping by one week. We do this every other Saturday night, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And if you want to follow me out on Twitter, you can find me at PHXDN_KLAUSS. That's PhoenixDown_Klauss. So, for my co-hosts, Seyrr Timono, and for Chille, I am Klauss Nightbringer, wishing everybody a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Phoenix Down Radio is a production of PhoenixDownRadio.com and Illusion Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. In-game content for Phoenix Down Radio is the copyright of Square Enix. Opening music for Phoenix Down Radio is provided by Guilty Gear Rock You. Check out the Metal Chocobo theme cover and many other music videos at youtube.com/Guilty Gear Rock You. Closing music for this episode is provided by Guitar Wanker 90. Please check out their full version of Matoya's Cave and other rock video game covers at youtube.com/Guitar Wanker 90. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of Phoenix Down Radio and its hosts and do not reflect the views of Square Enix.